not so much an island as a battleground.
Now mind those bikes, they're the new Nortons.
Not so much racing as a reckoning.
The world's greatest road race and the world's greatest riders.
A legacy like no other. The Isle of Man TT. Will we see the ordinary do the extraordinary? Like Stanley Woods, a toffee salesman who became the sport's first superstar.
Do you like the sound of that? I said, do you like the sound of that, Stanley?
Or will we see a genius like Jeff Duke rewrite the rule book?
Another record. He's been going like the wind.
They said Jeff didn't ride round here. He flowed like water. So smooth.
Maybe we'll see a superhuman effort.
On the left, Giacomo Agostini, and beside him, Mike Hailwood. It's victory again for Mike Hailwood.
So, Mike, was that hard work?
You could say that.
Or will we see the epic fight that's too close to call? Hizzy and Foggy remorselessly driving each other to new heights.
The lead slopping on every lap.
And it's history. A win for Hislop and a win for Norton.
It's the most exciting motorsport battleground in the world. Always has been. Always will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your hosts for this evening, Steve Parish and James Whittam.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. May I wish you a very warm welcome to the launch of the 2016 Isle of Man TT races fueled by Monster Energy. My name is Steve Parish, and my fellow host stood over there is, of course, Mr. James Whittam. We're going to be welcoming you on stage here tonight, some of TT's biggest stars, as well as bringing you up to date with the latest news and all of the events that will be turning up this year. I must just say, James, initially, Craig Doyle, he looked well, considering he was chatting away with Mike Hailwood, didn't he?
He's been around a while, hasn't he? That's right, Steve. We've got all the star names taking part in this year's event under one roof tonight, and we'll be asking them all about their hopes and ambitions leading into what is undoubtedly going to be the fastest TT ever.
We're also going to be talking to some of this year's rookies who will be making their debut in just a few weeks' time, as well as throwing in a couple of announcements around new stuff that's coming your way for 2016.
Now then, most of the riders have been over on the island for a couple of days now, working with Europe's motorcycle press, essentially. Do you want to see what other shenanigans they've been getting up to? Have a look at this. actual fact, I think Lee Johnson would make a really good proper sniper, you know.
Captain Mannering, I would have said. Talk about Dad's army. Would you want them protecting your queen and country? I don't think so. Now, in a moment, we're going to start bringing up the riders here for a chat, or probably an interrogation for that matter. But before I do that, I want to tell you how you can get involved in tonight's entertainment. You can tweet us on #AskIOMTT. If you have any questions you would like to ask the riders, just tweet in, as I said, #AskIOMTT, and we will pick out the best ones. And remember, this is being streamed around the world. So we could get from New Zealand, we could get from Australia, you name it. It's all around the world. And of course, it is a family show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, or gentlemen and riders. But let's face it, what a fantastic evening it was last year. What a fantastic year it was last year, 2016. Let's just remind ourselves how brilliant 2015 was.
I'm speechless. This is just everything to me.
Afraid to lose control, caught up in in. He is giving it his all.
That's a senior, the fastest race I've ever seen.
Everybody that's turned up here today has been treated with a masterclass.
How about a round of applause for North One TV, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful piece of editing it really was, and quite honestly it captures and epitomises what the spirit of the TT is all about. And if you didn't get hair standing up on the back of your neck, go and see a doctor, because you need to check your pulse. Right, it is now time to crack on. Don't forget to tweet us if you want to ask any questions, and it's interrogation time. So we're going to start tonight with a young man who took his first TT win during last year's event. Ivan Linton was a convincing winner of the Bennett's Lightweight TT race, making it 2 wins from 2 in the class for the Devitt RC Express racing team. Ivan is staying with the Bristol-based team and squad next year and is looking upon building on last year's success. Would you please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Ivan Linton. Sit down, please. Ivan,
I'm going to leave a seat in between because he's suffering from a terminal case of chicken pox. Are you all right?
Is it chicken pox?
I'm scabbed over, I'm fine.
You're scabbed over, right? That's excellent to hear. We might get some tweets coming in just to check on that. We might get someone, maybe the doctor's going to get in touch with us. But before we get into what we're going to talk about, what a year it was for you last year, what is it like to win your first TT? Hang on, before you probably even answer that, let's just have a little look of possibly what it's like. It's not just you, is it? It's the team.
No, yeah, it is a complete team effort, obviously. They've got to put the bike under me for me to be able to go and do the business. It's special, isn't it? When I started out the Manx Grand Prix 8 years ago as a complete newcomer, first ever race was 104 around here, and I never dreamed of coming to the TT, finishing top 6 at the TT, even winning a TT. So to actually win one from where we started out it's good, and want to do it again, hopefully.
You've had 12 months basking in that. It's ready to be bettered again.
Yeah. If we can. Well, I think there'll be a few other people arguing the cause, but if we can go and do the same again, it'd be absolutely fantastic for the team. It'd be their 3rd win, obviously my 2nd, and it'd be nice if we can push on in a few of the other classes to get a bit further up the field, really.
Ivan, you're a classic example for me of bucking the trend. A lot of people say that nice guys don't win, and you're a mild-mannered, always polite, always easy to work. Is that the case? You love all this?
Yeah. This is more the difficult side, doing stuff like this. I struggle with it a bit and struggle in front of the cameras. I do have a lot of ers and but it is good to prove that you can still do that. And like the lads who are doing the Manx Grand Prix and coming up, and you can still build a bike in your shed at home, and still, certainly the lightweight class. I don't think you'll be able to do it so much in the superbike classes, but you can still do it and be successful at the big international events.
But you like the adulation you get from the wins at the TT and the notoriety you're getting, I guess?
Yeah, certainly. It obviously comes hand in hand with it, but it is good to be noticed more. It's good to have the trophy on the mantelpiece and know that you've done that. You can never have your name taken off the trophy. And
are you famous back in, it's Bardney, isn't
Bardney.
it? Yeah, you're famous back there.
The local's got a few pictures up, but I've had a fundraiser in the local for 8 years since I've started out, so it's a bit of a, I wouldn't say a shrine because that's a bit of an odd thing to say, but they have got a wall of photographs through the years, and
I love that. I love that. How
nice.
a community gets behind the local.
Yeah, and everyone, like, we're going up to, I'm at Scarborough this weekend, and a load of the locals from the village will be coming up there to support us up there, and it's good for them. It's good for the village. It's good for me.
Knowing them lads, though, they want a free ticket, won't they? They won't be
oh yeah, they're always on the phone at 9 o'clock. You got any tickets? You got any tickets?
So Ivan, tell us the classes you'll be racing in this year.
We'll be fielding all 4 classes again. So same superbike as last year. We've got one of the new Kawasaki Super Stockers. A similar 600, but hopefully a bit quicker, and then a completely new twin, different to the one I rode last year, but if it all falls flat on its face at Scarborough this weekend, then we've got the old one in the shed.
So it's a testing weekend coming up?
Yeah, it's certainly a testing weekend. I ain't rode the Stocker yet, and I ain't rode the new twin, so we could be wheeling 2 old
James
bikes.
was saying earlier that they start out as shopping bikes, but they certainly don't finish up as them, do they?
No, there's not a lot Kawasaki ER6 left on them, really. You've got a frame and an engine, and obviously the forks change, the wheels change, the swinging arm changes it. They're mini superbikes, really. What we can do to them and how we get them from something that's bound 70 horsepower to around 100 horsepower, they turn into proper race machines.
Excellent.
Well, you know, one of the spin-offs of that, a really interesting spin-off of the fact that everybody wants to go racing on basically an AR6-based bike. There's loads of people bought AR6s, just street riders, and use them to go to work on for like 10 years, and they're all rusty and falling to pieces. And when they advertise them in MCN to sell them, think they're going to get a few £100. All the racers around there trying to buy the engine for loads of money, and parts for them, and second-hand ones have got worth really quite a lot of money now.
You can't get an engine for below £1,000 now. It's bonkers, really.
Yeah, I've got one. You can have it.
You can have it. You'll be selling it off.
Nothing's cheap from me.
A tweet's just come in, and it comes in from Nicola Quinn, and she says, I think Milky should get a special mention for what he does for the TT. Well, I think that's very true, and Milky Quayle, give him a big, big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. He is a superstar, and he's a TT winner. Thank you, mate, and enjoy 2016.
Right then, BMW is fast becoming the TT rider's weapon of choice, with a whole host of S1000RRs featuring in the top 20 seeded numbers for this year's RST Superbike and PokerStars senior races. Among the BMW lineup are 2 veterans, and that's, whoever wrote the scripts was not mine, veterans, if they can hear me backstage, of the TT, who between them have racked up 7 wins and no less than 27 podiums over the years, but who still come into this year's event well capable of featuring right at the pointed end of every class they feature in. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the stage for Batham's SMT Racing Michael Rutter and Tyco BMW Ryan Farquhar.
Sit on that microphone. Right, we can sit next to you guys. You haven't got any problems, have you?
Any health issues you should tell us about before we get close?
Only hair loss. I've been suffering like that for years.
I'm about to say a combined age of experience of about 84, but you don't look it, and you're as fast as you ever were. Ryan, start us off. It's a big change for you this year.
Excuse me. There's quite a few people shocked, you know, that have moved from Kawasaki to BMW, and they're even more shocked whenever I announced that I was going to be joining Philip and Hector's Tyco BMW squad. So it's something I'm really excited about for the 2016 season.
Can I say, Ryan, that was in actual fact the shortest retirement of anybody who's ever retired from anything, and that's almost like somebody getting married for the presents they're going to get. You know what I mean? I think you did it for the cards.
You don't have to give half your house up, though.
Did you have to give it back, the retirement present?
Well, never retired. There's nobody come and give me any presents. I still had to pay my bills, and that's what, you know, that's part of the reason why I had to come back racing. Well, not that I had to come back racing, but whenever you enjoy doing something and you have all the equipment sitting there, and you know what happened at the Manx Grand Prix, you know, I just thought, you know, I need to spend more time with my girls. You know, there's being selfish, and there's a lot more to life than just riding a motorbike. But whenever I was away for a season, you know, and you've still bills to pay, and you know, it's fair to say I never spent as little time with them that year that I was retired. So the easiest thing for me to do was to get back on a bike and do less races. And so here we are.
If nobody's pointed this out, you're actually quite good at it, aren't you? It's not like you're retiring from something you were at the sharp end of.
Well, we've won a few races, and you know, from 2004 it has been my occupation. That's how I've paid my bills, and it's a tough way to run your own team. It is a tough way of making a living, but it's something I enjoy. And not just the riding side of it's the easy, but it's you know, I do enjoy the engineering side of it, and you know, tuning my own engines and building my own bikes, and you know, supplying customers with bits and pieces. You know, I do get a bit of a kick out of that side of it as well. Probably even more so than the riding. But whenever you go out and get a result, you know, especially the likes of the TT and that, there's, you know, it's fantastic.
In actual fact, Michael's getting a little bit involved in the whole unloading the truck, wheeling the bike through, scrutineering and all the rest of it. I saw him at Silverstone doing pretty much. Well, you've got your helpers, but it's you're getting involved, aren't you? You get your hands dirty a little bit.
Yeah, basically, you know, we've started up, you know, Batham's SMT team. It's a bit of a joint effort, and you know, just got to get involved with it now. So it's terrible. It is. It's absolutely terrible. I hate it.
Well, the Tyco team couldn't have had a better start to the season as far as BSB is concerned. So the package is right, isn't it?
There's no doubt about that. Michael Larder and Preston Liddon, you know, they're bang on the case. Josh Elliott and Hutchie, Superstar as well. You know, it's a fantastic start to the season for them. So hopefully that can continue, you know, the whole season on the roads as well.
Okay, how about it? Put your hands together, please, ladies and gentlemen, to two very, very talented Isle of Man TT riders, Ryan Farquhar and Michael Rutter, who is taking his Coca-Cola away. Thank you. Brilliant stuff from those two guys. Okay. Thank you, Michael. That's not alcoholic, is it? We're now on to the sidecar guys, and we love them to bits, and we're going to talk to three crews, and they're sort of lining up to put one over the current champions in Ben and Tom Birchall, the outright lap record holder Dave Molyneux and Dan Sale. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome up here onto the stage 13-time podium finishers and winners of the 2011 TT, John Holden and Andy Winkle. 5 times world champion, sidecar world champion and winner of the 2013 TT, Tim Reeves and Patrick Ferrance, and of course 2014 TT winner Conrad Harrison, and his new passengers, Dean Kilkenny. Give him a big round of applause. What an entrance! They've broken the set. What have you done? You've wrecked the set. We can't sit down, there's too many of you, but lovely to see you all up here. Have you? Oh, can I sit on the edge there? Yeah, I've got very old legs. Thank you very much indeed. Well, we might as well start from this end. Have you had a good day today, boys?
We've had a cracking day.
Oh, microphone is here.
We've had a cracking day.
Okay, and what happened here? Can you tell us what went on with the stage?
Just too many of us coming onto the stage, basically.
Who busted through that?
Well,
Conrad.
Last year I broke him, and now we brought your set.
Okay, but you've got your Winkle back.
I've got my little Winkle back, yeah.
Excellent. And
never went away.
Are you fitting well?
As good as it'll ever be for an old bloke.
Yeah. Oh, well, we've got repairers coming in here now. Good job. We've got the staff in here now to try and repair things. You're not that old.
Old enough to know better.
No, we're not, Wing.
You're not old. Apparently you would have been older, but your mum was shy. James.
Conrad, I want to ask Conrad how it's been losing your long-term passenger, and how's it gelling with your new man there? Do you want to explain about that?
It's not good news, obviously.
Don't look like it. Yeah, go on, all right.
Yeah, Mike's had a heart do, like, and he's now got a electronic pacemaker in. Yeah. If his heart stops again, it shocks his heart back in. Well, it makes it work again, to be honest. And when he rung me up, his wife rung me up, I thought, fittest bloke in paddock.
Yeah.
I was a bit surprised, like, you know what I mean? If anybody were going to have a heart attack, I thought it'd have been like me or John. You know what I mean? But obviously, British bloke, you can't write what's going to happen, can you? And luckily now I've, when it comes to straws, what about John Delboy?
And how's he going with him? Is he?
Well, we've been out before. We did Malady over a year, and we cleaned up at Malady, and we nearly went to 700, but we haven't been out yet this year, but we're going out in a few weeks. And on the new bike, I've built a new bike for this year. Yeah. I'm bringing the old bike as well, but I've got a bit of a tough challenge this year, but I think I need it. I need keep me alive.
Tim, you've had a bit of a road trip, I hear. Haven't you brought a famous passenger up with you or someone? Didn't he travel with you?
What, Shimmy, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, mate, he's the biggest freeloader I've ever met. Where is he?
Is he with us tonight?
Yes, you should have him up here, shouldn't you? He's the most famous man in the room. No, he's not. He's a good lad, really. Yeah, Andrew Shimmy's a bit of an actor, isn't he?
Yeah, well, apparently he's a very good actor, yeah. Has he been acting up over the trip up here?
All the way, yeah. I paid for his ferry crossing, his dinner. No, I ain't really, he's all right. Yeah, I just got this random phone call. He said, "You're not coming up the M1, are you? Can you pick me up?" So, yeah, but it's good, isn't it, if he's here, and he loves a bit of bike riding and that, so, yeah, it's a good lad.
Yeah, okay. So is the launch, like we're here tonight, is it the start for you guys? Does it kind of kick your mind into gear? I mean, obviously preparations take place throughout the winter months, but this surely must be the sort of trigger that gets your mind into it.
No, not really. Not if you want to really have a good crack at trying to win it. You need to start your preparation as soon as you get home from the last one.
Right.
But you never got enough time, and you're always behind. But yeah, for us, things are looking quite good, and
yeah. Can you just put the mic in a little bit? Yeah, thank you. Sorry, so we can hear you a bit better.
Sorry, I do apologise. Yeah, things are looking good now. We've got some better equipment and stuff, and we 3 weeks ago we lost our title sponsor, unfortunately, and all of my loyal sponsors have all chucked in and filled the gap. But we're doing something different this year. We're going to run our bike in Lee Johnson's cancer charity with the support of all of our sponsors. They're funding it. We're just doing it because he's a good lad, and he does a lot. You know, this charity's a good charity, and I've become quite fond of his father, and you know, I think Lee probably started this charity because of his father's illness, and I think that's why we decided to do it. Yeah, just a nice family, and we feel it's a good thing to do.
Okay. Many changes to the outfits this year. I understand bodywork could be a bit bigger, that type of thing. A bit of aerodynamics.
Yeah, Molly's built us a new chassis, and we've just changed the bodywork slightly, but nothing major. The bike we had last year was good enough. We had a bit of bad luck, so we've cleaned up all the sharp edges, if you like, and hopefully it'll be reliable. We just need a bit of lady luck, and hopefully we'll be up the sharp end.
Okay. And consensus, if conditions are good, just gets faster.
Yeah, obviously, Ben and Tom last year, and Molly and John, they did a great job, didn't they? And brought the speeds up quite high. And unfortunately, due to our bad luck we weren't involved in it. Hopefully we can get amongst it. And I think, yeah, I'm sure it'll be a faster race, definitely. I'm sure we're going to have to go faster to beat them boys, and just hopefully it'll be a safe one, and we'll all come home and have a good ride.
One of the things about the sidecar paddock is, just like Del was saying, you all help each other. You help each other out with whatever equipment, time. You'll run about for each other. When does that stop, and when does the serious kind of competition start? Or does it? Are you still? Do you feel like there's a kind of family atmosphere about it? Yeah, I know that, Conrad. Actually, I know that. Yeah, you're loud, Conrad, but not that loud.
I am. It'd never stop with me, to be honest. If it come down to it,
yeah.
And John wanted to borrow an engine, I'd probably feel soft, and I would lend him one. And after he beat me, I'd think, well, you're an idiot for lending him an engine. But I think that's what you do. We want sidecars on track, and the best sidecars on the track. And these two guys outside of me, well, they are the best guys. You know what I mean? Obviously, Tom and Dave.
Well, actually, I was chatting with Pat on the plane, and you were saying now that once it starts getting sort of unified as to what, then you're going to have all the sort of best teams in at once. And it seems to me, especially at the Isle of Man, that you can't you've got to have a crew that you trust. You've got to trust each other. You've got to know exactly where the outfit is at any one time, because you're not looking for the most part.
Yeah, for the passenger, you've got your head down most of the part, so it is instinctive. But me and Tim, we've got a pretty
Nice rapport going.
Yeah, we've got a good friendship off the circuit as well. I mean, we've known each other for a long, long time, and we've ridden with each other for many years now, so we've got a real good rapport. Same with Andy and John and Ben and Tom. And
how much more difficult is the Isle of Man course as a sidecar crew, both on yourselves and on the bike, as let's say Donington?
It's completely different, yeah. It's a completely different aspect. Everybody knows a TT. It's the hardest race in the world, and everything's got to be on your side to get the result. The bike's got to be right, Tim's got to be right, I've got to be right, everything. There's, if there's one part of you let you down, there's going to be somebody else that's winning, and that's it. But no, me and Tim we've got everything right this year, we hope. Ironed out all the creases from last year, and hopefully we can put a good package together this year and come back and give the result.
John?
Yeah, you were talking about how much we help each other. Thank you, Ben and Tom. I've got a bike very similar to what's on the stage there. Ben and Tom's built me a fantastic, they've taken over from Louis Christian and LCR, so it's almost a sister bike to what they've got. So that's how much we help each other. These guys are winning and want to win, and yet they're helping other guys do the business. So we're quite lucky. We've got Ian Barnes and Silicon Engineering helping us out as well. So we're quite in a good position. But thank you, everybody.
There's a question coming actually for you, Patrick, from David Todd. I don't know if he's a mate of yours. He says, have you put a bit of timber on?
Yeah, cheers, David.
Okay, he's asked to do so.
Yeah, I'll get on it. I'll lose it before the TT.
Okay. I'd just like to say that apparently we've got a bit of a sound issue with the live feed. So anyone back at home or wherever they are, apparently there's an issue that's being worked on for the live feed. And Sarah says, Sidecar Boys, do you think a lap record will go this year? And do you think a 120-mile-an-hour lap is ever possible? No, my feeling.
120 not yet, but lap record, yes.
Yeah, lap record do you think can go this year? Okay.
I would think so. Yeah.
I think so. I think the lap record, I think it can be pushed up to like 170 and a half, somewhere around there. I think that's where it'll end up being. But like John's over 116 now, Tim's not so far away, Dave is obviously there, and Ben and Tom, I think they're just going to keep pushing each other, and I think it's like the Superbike lap record. It's a massive thing when John did 130 mile an hour and up to 132, 133 now, and it's the way of the sport, and as things progress, engines, tyres, suspension, that's the way it's going to go. So I think I think it'll go again this year. Yeah, definitely.
The thing to remember is that the engines aren't much different to when Nick Crowe did his 116. So we're all running around on similar power. We're all the top 5 or 6 of us are all setting off with Honda powers. Most of them built by the same guy. So it's going to be so close that it should be a fantastic race for everybody.
The thing that amazes me is the fact that you guys are on a machine with the pair of you on that at best is going to do somewhere close to 140 miles an hour, and you're going around at 116 average. That's a lot closer top speed to average speed for a lap than the solos are getting, because them things, they're 200 mile an hour motorcycles. So it's quite amazing. It's flat out for a long way.
Yeah, I think David had some data on, and 70% of the lap is flat out, which is amazing for them little Honda engines that's singing away. But aerodynamics have a big part to play, but I think without having a great increase in power, we're not going to go a lot faster down some of these straights. Yeah. It's just a big lump to push through the air. So,
speak for yourself.
Well, just think how fast I'd be for a little.
How about it? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for these guys. They are heroes. They entertain us every year very, very well. We love seeing you out here. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, if you could try and just be a little bit careful when you go out, so you don't wreck everything when you go out there. Yeah, absolutely brilliant, and we love you to bits.
Watch the set on your way out, lads.
Yeah, just don't trip over anything on the way out.
Quite ham-fisted, some of these sidecar men. Right, it's time to see if me and Steve can actually get a word in edgeways now with 2 guys who are starting to establish themselves as part of the TT elite, both of them having regular visits to the winners' enclosure. Dean Harrison is already a TT winner, and for 2016, he moves across to the Silicon Engineering team, while his close friend and rival Lee Johnston stays with the East Coast Construction team, with whom he scored his debut TT podium last year. And that was on the back of victories at the Northwest 200 and the Ulster Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome onto the stage Dean Harrison and Lee Johnston. Anyway, one.
Hello, young fella. Yeah, good, thank you.
On you go, on you go.
I can see we're all in training, drinking water. Are you going to sit next to him? Well, there you go. Do you want me to sit there and you sit here?
I reckon I can cope.
You can cope, okay. All right. Nice to see you. You've left James the beer, have you?
Yeah, I said half a lager, please. You all right? Yeah.
Great to see you. What's happened today? We know what's happened today.
Yeah, you can probably see from the footage the one person that probably has the most bad language and messes around and much got the camera put on there, a gun, and I was rolling around, but it was good. It was good fun, to be fair.
I guess you were able to sneak under a few bushes and trees.
Yeah, well, it was a bit of a laugh, really, because me and Connor were doing a bit of a reconnaissance mission, and we realised that, I said, there's a good little bit of a tree and stuff we can get in behind, and of course I was laid down, completely covered, and Connor sort of says, we're going to have to move. I was like, what's wrong here? He goes, Lee, the tree stops about here and you're completely covered, and Lee was stood out in the open, so yeah, we had to move.
Okay, fantastic stuff. So boys, it's coming up. We're, I think, 44 days away. It's time, really, isn't it? Preparation time.
Yeah, no, it's we're near enough there now. It's the 600's done, the super stock's flying, and just a few bits to go on the superbike, and we're ready to go. Doing some testing. I'm testing this weekend at Scarborough. Yeah, same as Lee and Ivan, and the bikes are mint, to be honest. I've never felt as good as this in a few years now, to be honest. I'm happy where I am, that the bikes are good, and the lads I work with are brilliant. Know that the spirit of the new team, let's say, I've switched.
I used to race with Paul Eden. What's he like as a boss?
He's mint, to be honest. Despite what everybody says, I actually think he's absolutely spot on. Do you know, the whole Silicone team, to be honest. Obviously, we know what we want to do and what we want to achieve, but they're really laid back, and you know, the fun and everything just works really well together. And I think it's a mint job.
That's what you want. Is a nice, happy team.
What's your build-up been like? I know you're racing at Scarborough this weekend. Have you done many miles on the bike? And can you do anything with the bike that's going to prepare you and the bike for this?
Well, that's the thing, to be honest. It's all right doing racing everywhere and here, there and everywhere, but to be honest, you can go down short circuits that you blew it first. So you go down Braille, you never really know what the bike's going to be 100% like. But I did super stock round at weekend at Silverstone, had a ride round there. I've done a fair bit of testing prior. I've got Scarborough this weekend. I'm testing the superbike after this weekend. So I think my bike fitness is probably the best it's ever been. And I'm feeling good on the bike, and I'm racing around at weekend, and I'm not getting that tired. I just feel like I wanted the race to be 25 laps, not 11 laps.
Lee, you stay with the same setup as you were with last year. Is it a comfort thing going into a TT?
Yeah, I think it is. You know what I mean? Last year, obviously, was our first time with BMW, and being a smaller team and stuff, maybe you don't get things developed as quick, and it just showed sort of the calibre of the team to come straight to Northwest and maybe get some wins and be at the front straight away. It shows maybe how lucky I am to be surrounded by. There's a lot of guys in the team with quite a lot of experience, and then obviously Jamie, the youngest guy in the team, runs the job. He's only 26-year-old, like, so we've got a good balance of maybe experience and full of enthusiasm to want to beat the factory teams and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm really happy where I am. You know what I mean? A lot of people have maybe whinged and moaned and said why I didn't go to a so-called factory team and stuff like that, but I couldn't be happier, and in my own head I think I'm in the best team in the paddock. So
and what about fitness-wise? I know that he comes mountain biking with us, and he's a strong lad on a mountain bike. I'll tell you, just flipping destroys us every time he comes. I've got to admit that. However, you always say that on the bigger bikes and more powerful bikes, you're not kind of big enough to kind of... Do you do any kind of almost strength training for that?
Yeah, I do as well. I know, like, as far as I'm concerned, anybody that enjoys going to the gym needs to get their head examined. Do you know what I mean? It's just like sitting there looking at a load of lads in vests that just about cover their nipples is not exactly something I find.
You make it sound so appealing.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, maybe if it was the other sex running around, it'd be a bit better, but it's something you have to do. Do you know what I mean? I've grasped that. I've grasped that Dean's gym's full of women. I'm moving gyms. Like, I've grasped that, and I realised that's what I have to do. And when the man upstairs was giving out height, he just sort of missed me out and stuff. So we know that's not in our favour, but then we're lighter than a lot of other people, and it sort of swings around a bit. You know, maybe for the Northwest and the Ulster it's a little bit better, and we do struggle here for size, but I think we sort of showed in the Superstock race last year, you know, if you want something bad enough and you put the effort in, there's no real reason why you can't be there or thereabouts.
I agree. Well, you weren't going to sit next to each other, but you're going to be teammates this year.
We've been teammates for a few years now.
Classic TT, you've been teammates, haven't you?
Yeah, I see we've been teammates at Classic TT. Have we done anything else together before?
Not that people can know.
No, don't talk about that. But no, we're teammates on the electric bike, which I'm looking forward to riding, to be honest.
I bet you are.
The Sarah Lee boys are really
and I think
yeah,
before we get into that, we better invite the governor out here. He's got a man that's got to keep an eye on you. Would you please put your hands together to Bjorn Robbins, who is from Sarah Lee?
The man behind the Sarah Lee team.
He's round the back. Hi, Boyan. Please sit down.
I don't think he realises what he's in for.
My first question would be, how are you going to get on for keeping these lads in some kind of order?
Well, from what I know, they're pretty decent guys. So I only saw them fooling around for the first time this afternoon. But once they get on a bike, they're real pros. So I don't see any problems.
In actual fact, I'm taking the mick. They are some of the good guys in the paddock. Most of the people are in the paddock, to be honest. Now then, we've just been talking about Lee's stature, and maybe the Superbike is going to be an handful. But for what you want him to do, possibly the perfect kind of rider.
Yeah, for the electric bikes, with the weight that we're carrying with the batteries, it's really very, very important to have fit riders and slim riders and riders that weigh as less as possible. So having Lee and he's going to lose a couple of kilos before the TT as well. So having both of them on the bike and the fact that he's small and that they're both really subtle and smooth riders is helping a lot on the electric bikes.
Bjorn, will the bikes be identical?
No, we're bringing two brand new bikes, and they'll look amazing. So they both have their own bike in different colors and different color schemes. So it's going to be very exciting.
And it sounds exciting that you're going to be building road machines.
Yeah, so we will be announcing the sale of our road legal bikes somewhere in second quarter of this year, and start production by the end of the year. So you can order yours today.
I'll maybe come and see you a bit later on if there's a special discount for tonight only. Where will these bikes be built?
Well, we're still looking into that, but we've seen a lot of interest from the Isle of Man, and we've got some amazing partners here on the island already for a couple of years, which are DQ, and so DQ Advocates. So it's very likely that we will be producing and manufacturing the bikes right here on the Isle of Man.
Excellent. Well, I can tell you they'll be trying to blag a free run. These two will not be wanting to buy them. They'll be trying to get a demonstrator.
Yeah, probably.
I can tell you. Now, I must just say, I'm looking at a few tweets that come in. Lee, Spanner Monkey wants to know, do you shave your left arm?
No. I had to look which arm was left there.
Oh, well, you did, didn't you?
That's a good Twitter name, that, isn't it? Spanner Monkey.
Can we have the microphone? Sorry.
I'm more impressed with his Twitter name, Spanner Monkey. What? Does he have a job title as well, or?
He obviously thinks he's good with the spanners.
Yeah. No, I don't. This is obviously my left arm. Do you want to have a feel, James? Which one is more? No, sorry.
Okay.
I think I'll survive without having a feel of that.
And Dale Cross wants to know, Dean Harrison, do you only do your hair on special occasions? And what is a special occasion?
Do you know what? I can answer that question. He's pinched my hair gel and done nothing but moan about it all evening, saying it's useless.
Well, listen, it's clearly not working for him.
That's a bit harsh. That's my friend you're talking about. I think you look lovely.
How are you going to take these guys seriously, eh?
I can't take these guys. I can't take any of these seriously. He's very serious, but he's not really serious. But I'll let him answer himself.
He is the boss.
No, I think the boss is in the workshop.
Okay, yeah. As I say, Torsten is back at home working.
Yeah, exactly. Torsten's working hard, finishing up the last bits of the bike, and these guys are coming over to Spa to test the bikes very soon. So when I say hello to the guys in the workshop, they're all watching the live stream. And I'll let Torsten handle them both.
Okay, he can certainly do that. Now, you came very, very, very close to a podium before. It's going to happen this year, right?
Yeah. We know what it will take to go to take podium and to go for a victory. So we realize that if we want to win the TT or make podium, we're gonna have to go over the 120. So the bikes are ready to go over the 120 miles an hour.
It's capable of that. Okay. James, any more questions? Any more interrogation from these two types?
Not yet now. I'm getting the looks from Dean now because I took the mick out of his hair a little bit. So that's me. I'm finished with these. I just had my hair cut. You've just had it cut. You want to see?
If you'd have seen my hair cut right about 3 days ago, I couldn't even put in a ponytail. It was that bad.
Did you pay for that?
Yeah, of course I did. Well, I haggled with the guy, but I did genuinely pay something.
Just one final one coming in here from Liam Blevins, and he wants to know, Lee, how do you train over the winter? What do you do? What's your training scheme, campaign?
Different things. Everybody does the same thing. Like James says, I go out with a load of retired men that used to be really fast on motorbikes to ride bicycles, and we have a good lot. The best thing is, we go and pedal our brains out, stop at this little local cafe, eat the biggest, greasiest fry known to man, and then set off again straight away, thinking we're complete athletes. But no, I enjoy riding my bicycle. It's something I do. Even I think if I didn't race motorbikes, I would still do that. But like I said, I have to go to the gym and stuff, even though there's them guys there in the skinny vests. But I don't let them put me off and sort of stick at it and stuff. Yeah.
And one final one we've got here. Would Lee consider trying rallying after his run out with Craig Breen a few weeks ago?
Tell you what, them boys have got skill. Oh, I got, like last week, I got a go with a guy called Craig Breen that's just won the Circuit of Ireland in the Lakeland Tyres Citroen, and had a few jars the night before, and the old stomach was about here halfway down the stage. But yeah, absolutely unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? I think it's the only thing you can grasp that's sort of correlated to our sport and the skill. Like I think he'd only been down the stage twice with a co-driver saying notes, so the third time he was driving blind, absolutely on the limit. Like, so fair play, big respect to the talent them guys have.
They certainly have. When will the boys get to test? Just
next week.
The testing going to commence very shortly.
So they're going to come over to Spa-Francorchamps next week to do testing on both new bikes, and we're looking forward to that.
Is that a track day or something at Spa?
It's a track day, yeah.
Okay, that is going to be a lot of fun because you're going to be passing a lot of people on big bikes, and I think they're going to enjoy that. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together, because what a team they are, what a nice bunch of guys they are, and what a great TT they have in store for them, I'm sure. Bjorn, thank you very much indeed. And thank you very much. Have a great evening. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely wonderful. Right, ladies and gentlemen, the Beast is coming to the Isle of Man. That isn't James Whittam, but the proper Beast is coming to the Isle of Man. And let's just have a look at what some of the older two-stroke riders think about the Beast.
We were not sure what would happen to us. Personally, I was almost sure I would kill myself racing. Every Sunday morning when I was waking up, or every time I was going on my bike, I was scared. But I could accept that. I wanted that challenge. We have other motivation than success or money or things like that. We were just having this. In my case, I wanted to dominate my fear. I wanted to be master of myself.
I thought, I don't care if I die, this is most exciting. You know, the two strokes are incredible beast. You know, the power comes in very, very quickly, and you have to have perfect throttle control.
It's got a huge amount of power, and you're just trying to tame this lion.
Two-stroke, there's a purity to watching them. They're very unique in how the visuals aspect of it, and the way they respond under acceleration, the sound, the smell, all those things. And as human beings, that's what we respond to, what we see, what we sense, and what we feel. And the two-stroke bikes give you all of that. And so people, when they watch it, they get goosebumps and they get a smile.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Suter MMX is coming to the Isle of Man. The two-stroke machine, it is, can you believe this, 130 kilograms and very close to 200 brake horsepower. And the man given the task of taming the beast is 10 times TT winner, Ian Locker. Let's get Ian up here and speak to him about his thoughts of riding that bike. Ian, lovely to see you here. I'm going to give you this microphone. Oh, you've got a microphone right there. That scared me watching that. You've got to ride it.
Scared me as well.
You've got to ride that because most of those people up there haven't got any fingers and things like that from the two-strokes. But you're a big two-stroke lover.
Yeah. I started my career on two-strokes back in 1982, RD400 and then TZ350s and various other bikes along the way. So, yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to riding it.
You've got to be impressed. Sorry, you were chosen to ride it.
I mean, what?
I mean, it's great, and you must be so pleased that you were the chosen man to tame it.
Yeah, I am actually. But there's very few two-stroke riders
left.
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, there's very few people who've got two-stroke experience
still riding,
to riding and racing, and yeah, it's a bit of an art in its own self, I suppose. But it's just a little bit different, yeah. But yeah, no, I just can't wait to get on it. You know?
Realistically, that it's got to virtually be the best two-stroke machine available. It's from a different era. They've got better engineering. We know that Eskil Suter is a terrific engineer. I think it's 590 cc or something like that.
Yeah.
It is a proper tool, and it should be an awful lot of fun.
Yeah, it's 576, yeah, and it's a 80-degree rather than a 90-degree engine, so it's their own. It's typical Eskil Suter design. He thinks outside the box all the time, and really got some interesting ideas. And we flew across to the factory and to the Zurich show there about a month ago, and yeah, just blew me away with the amount of
engineering
expertise
talent.
And yeah, engineering talent there is there, and it's just a bit. Yeah, awe-inspiring, really, you know.
To bring a bike like that to the TT, when there's no real precedence about, nobody's done it before, do you think they need somebody like you who's got plenty laps under his belt round here, knows what makes a bike tick? I mean, it's got to be, you need a different bike for here than any other circuit, just to make it last, not about it cracking, braking, seizing, whatever, you know. I think they need somebody who's as experienced as you, don't they?
Well, yeah. They said they want a lot of input from me, you know, from that side of things. So, which is great by me, and obviously the logistics of the place as well, you know. Been here, you know, loads of times, and they've never been here, so they're relying a lot. They're not coming here saying, "Look, we're going to, you know, move in and win and whatever." That was one of my first questions to them. You know, what are your goals? And if you're saying, oh, you know, we're going to come and win the senior TT, or we plan on it, then I'd been thinking twice about accepting it, you know. But no, it's a case of steady away, and we'll take it step by step, you know. And that's my attitude towards it.
Realistically, you've obviously put a lot of thought into it. What's it capable of? What's your thoughts? I mean, you kind of look at it on paper.
I don't want to say, to be honest, because once you say a figure, then people will be judging you by that, you know. And yeah, I've got my own thoughts, and I'll keep them to myself.
You're keeping them to yourself. I mean, Bruce Anstey, I'm not trying to compare it, but he's ridden a 502 stroke around here, and it did grow much better than I think most people thought.
Yeah, it's not better than I thought, to be honest. No, I was talking to Bruce at Silverstone on Sunday about it, and we sort of talked about it. He said, no, it was good and whatever, you know. But whether this one will be just as good and straight line, and you know what it's like if you have a bad practice week and bad weather, etc., and you know, a few breakdowns, then the week's gone away, and you just don't know, you know. So I'm just taking it.
I mean, the first and the most important thing that we all know about the TT, it's sort of when you can get that throttle wide open down a straight piece of road and it stays stable. I guess that's the most important thing.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any problem stability, because it's the thing that makes you shut the throttle and frighten you is the weight behind the thing. When, you know, a big four-stroke, when it goes out of shape, it's something that scares you. You know, a big two-stroke never sort of does that so much. A little bit, maybe a TZ750 in your days and whatever.
Anything scared me.
Yeah, but you know, compared to the big bikes these days, you know, when they get out of hand, you know, there's a lot of weight, and you need a lot of muscle power to get them back again. But the two-stroke's a lot lighter and whatever. But again, they're nimble and they're skitting off the road a little bit more, you know, jumping around. So, but yeah, I'll know a little bit more when I ride it, which is next week. So.
One thing I do know, 130 kilograms and 197 brake horsepower, that's going to be one mean wheelie machine, that, isn't it? It's just going to be really good for wheelies.
Yeah, but that was one of the reasons they made it 580-ish, because to try and get rid of that sort of torque, you know, when the you know, that sort of power band, when it gets past that 6,000 or 8,000, and then it kicks in big time. So, but up above that, I don't know. We'll find out soon.
I can't wait.
I can't wait. No.
Are you training? You know, are you doing anything that you wouldn't have normally done if you hadn't have been riding this bike?
Yeah, I was, and then for the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, I've had a chest infection, and I've been doing a lot, and now I'm sort of running my own BSB team and back and forth with that again. But anyway, yeah, I managed to lose a little bit of weight, which I needed to. But yeah, so yeah, I'll be all right. Don't worry.
Okay, we look forward to it. I think we all, don't we, ladies and gentlemen? Don't we look forward to seeing that machine around here with Ian riding it? Put your hands together, because he is taken on a pretty major task. And I'm looking forward to not only seeing it, but also listening to it.
Now, this is always one of my favourite parts of the build-up to any TT, when we find out which riders are coming to make their debuts at this year's event. And it's no wonder when you consider how fast some of the newbies have been over the last few years. We can look forward to another quality influx into the solo classes this year, with no less than 11 newcomers in total being given the opportunity to take part for the first time at this famous event. Now we're going to talk to one of the most high-profile of this year's bunch. He's a former European Superstock champion and a World Superbike rider. Please welcome Alex Polita.
I'm a little bit nervous.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
One thing I will tell
we
you.
will be very careful, but my first question is, whenever I see you, you have 3 beautiful girls with you. How does this work?
Sorry?
Whenever I've seen you, you have 3 beautiful girls with you.
Yeah, I'm Italian.
Okay.
I'm joking.
One thing I can tell you about Alex is I've known him in the paddock for a while, and he's one of the nicest blokes in the paddock. You're well thought of in the World Superbike paddock, mate.
Yeah, my career is strange because I'm starting yearly in Superstock in 2004 with Ducati. I am many years with Ducati. In 2006 I won, but after I've done a big crash in Donington, and my career stopped and restarted again many times later. Now, you know, I'm returning in Italian Championship this year with BMW. But really strange, because when I talk with my manager at my idea to come here for the TT course, oh, why? Because this is my dream when I was younger, you know. Now, finally, I take my dream.
Yeah.
I want to say thanks for this opportunity to all organization, TT, Sophie, Paul, Milky helped me every time.
How many times what is the learning procedure?
I've done 3 trips with Milky. This is the third time for me, I've done many laps with Milky, helped me all together. Yeah, it's fantastic.
And this is, for sure, you've raced in World Championship, European Championship, but for me this is one of your biggest challenges.
Yeah, big challenge. Depends, because if you arrive here with the motivation different, respect the race, no? Because when they start my championship, especially this year in Italian Championship, I won. Here is really different, because first experience, all is new. The track is really different. Respect the track race. So
you've got to enjoy it. You will enjoy it.
Is the TT known very well in Italy? Do people support and follow the TT? I mean, we have the great Giacomo Agostini that made his name here, of course.
Yeah, for my age, the other guy is strange, because so only the World Superbike Championship, or I don't know, the MotoGP, and strange. But I have many support, especially in my family or in my town. Yeah.
Okay. Your town is where?
Yeah.
Which town do you live in?
Jesi, near in Misano.
Limazzano?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so a very nice area, party
Falapa
town.
City, you know?
I know.
Yeah, we know Falapa. Yeah. And is there any particular part that you're finding difficult about learning a circuit, or?
But when I saw for the first time the movie, I thought, no, it's not bad. But when I arrived for the first time with Milky, all the part is very difficult for me.
You're looking forward to getting off down the road come June?
Sorry?
You're looking forward to setting off on a bike down the road, yeah?
Yeah, I saw. But I hope this is a big opportunity for me, no? You know, when I arrive for the race, I want to stay in completely relaxed and step by step we will see what will be my race. No?
Yeah. For me, I raced with the Italian team for some time, and the Alemanni is a big thing to them. They hear about the Alemanni, and it's almost like it's a completely different thing to their race is normally MotoGP or World Superbike. The Alemanni, I brought some Italian mechanics of mine over. They absolutely loved it. They loved the place. They loved the idea of the TT. Yeah. Have we got tweets?
Yes, we have.
I hope no.
From TT Fanatic, he says, does Alex have a realistic lap time he is aiming for? Do you have any specific time that you're setting a target for, or is it just to go out and enjoy it?
Yeah, for this time, I want to only enjoy. Maybe next year or after 3 years, we will see what...
we have quite a few newcomers here. Have you met many of the others? Have you been introduced to the other newcomers here for the TT?
Sorry, I don't understand.
have you met any of the other riders that are the first time here at the TT? Because there is, I think, there's Josh Daly. There's
it's 11 newcomers this year.
Yeah. So have you met them at all? Have you been introduced to the other?
Yeah, I talk with the other guy, especially the Italian guy. No, especially with Stefano Bonetti and Pagani.
Yeah. Okay.
Help me sometimes.
Okay, brilliant. Well, we haven't had any more tweets coming. I think they are coming through the system or anything else like that. But I think all we can do at this point, wish you the very, very best.
And enjoy it. Yeah, really enjoy it.
Ride at the pace that you're comfortable with, and I'm sure you are going to have a big, big smile on your face.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Bellita.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you very much indeed. Right, we have some very exciting news now, and we can announce that in the very near future you'll be able to take on your favourite riders on the TT course from the comfort of your own living room with the announcement of a new agreement with leading publisher Big Ben Interactive to produce a brand new TT video game. Let's just have a quick look at some of Big Ben's other work that they have done. Big Ben it is, and to tell us a bit more about the project from Big Ben, please welcome on stage here Regis Fontenay from the Big Ben Company. He's going to tell us about it.
I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be.
Hi, Regis.
I've been praying hard, said no more counting dollars.
Exciting project.
Definitely.
Why the TT?
Why the TT? Because it's simply the most spectacular race in the world. It's a passion project. It's really a dream come true when you're developing video games, which are basically you can do whatever you want, but when you're doing simulation titles, when you're doing racing titles, you really want to do the best stuff that's out there. And definitely, like, the TT brings feelings that no other competition in the world can bring you. So we are pleased to announce that Big Ben Interactive and the developers at Kiloton Entertainment that we are working on the official TT video game for consoles and PC.
Has it been a big project?
Definitely. We've already been working on it for the last year, and it's a long project because, of course, video games take time to be fully done, so it will be out next year. And the scope of the project is something that we've never done before and that nobody has ever done before, is that it's a full simulation. We want to be as authentic as possible to the actual TT, so it will be a full-scale reproduction of the race.
How do you go about making a reality, a sort of virtual reality version of the most complex circuit in the world?
Well, first of all, you learn what is the real thing. So we had a few members of a development team coming to the Isle of Man and doing, you know, searching, taking hundreds, thousands of pictures of the race, doing the full race in a car, in a bike, all these things. And of course, we'll need to work with the Isle of Man to get all the data we can get to recreate the game. But there's also the experience of recreating the feeling, and that's actually what's the hardest part, and that's where the expertise of Kiloton Entertainment comes, is that it's not our first simulation game, and so that allows us to, you know, you work again and again and again, you try it, you're like, okay, this doesn't feel right in the first place, so you do it again, and the second time it feels better and better and better, and you work and you work and you work, and in the end you get something that's as realistic as possible. You recognize all the actual turns, all the places you see in the actual TT.
Do you have any of the current riders helping or looking at?
Yeah, I was going to say, have you had a consultant?
Yes, we definitely have a consultant. I can't name who yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because he probably will win the race when he first tries it, I guess.
Probably.
Yeah. Don't bet against him. Have you watched the TT live yourself?
Yes.
Last year.
Last year.
Okay.
Last year live, and definitely it's something very unique. There's a sense of family. It's like a big family reunion out there. It's nothing like all the other competitions out there, and it's very thrilling.
Where's your company based?
In France.
Okay, where?
In Lille, the north of France.
Okay. Okay.
And the developer is in Paris.
Okay. So will there be lots of people from the Big Ben company this year at the TT, do you think?
Yes, as well. Also people from the development team coming to the actual race, and before the race, when once the roads will be closed, so we can, you know, take even more pictures to be as close as possible.
Okay. And can we expect to be able to play this by Christmas coming, or?
Not this year, but next year, for 2017, yes, definitely.
Okay. Do you play video games, James?
No, I'm the generation before the video game generation. When the only videos I've game, the tennis ones where the thing bounces.
Okay. Pong.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm quite good with those.
Yeah, it's evolved quite a bit. We'll give you the perfect excuse to play video games again.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well, we really look forward to it. So just one final question, the riders that will be on the game, will they be the current riders that we have now, or how does it work?
Yes, so we're working with Elephant, so we get all the actual content from next year, because the game will be released next year, so we're working on that already. So yeah, we definitely want the players to feel like they're in the actual TT, riding on the real race, with on their favorite bike, so the actual bikes, and competing against their favorite riders.
Will you have to take a tear off for the flies on the game?
Could be. Depends on how you immerse yourself when playing games.
A new idea. I could be a consultant.
Yeah, you could.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Regis from Big Ben. Thank you very, very much indeed. Great having you up here right now. Now, actually, I must just say, before we get on to the next bit, a tweet has just come through, and it's for Alex, wherever Alex is out in the room, and it comes from Natalie Yates, and she goes, Ooh, totty for the TT. I'm booking my flights now. Now, Alex won't have a clue what we're talking about.
To be honest, he has always been, he's been
you have a
popular in
fan
the paddock,
already that's coming through, so we'll check that out. It's now time to meet the Johnsons, which sounds a bit like a television show, doesn't it? Meet the Johnsons. Gary Johnson has already 2 TT wins to his name, but after 2, I guess you'd say, lean years by his own standards, he'll be hoping to get back to winning form as he moves to the German Pens13.com BMW team. And it's all changed for the Norton factory team, of course. This year they swapped one Australian for another. Cameron Donald has moved on to pastures new, but he's replaced by fellow Antipodean David Johnson, who is without doubt one of the fast up-and-coming stars of the TT with his 131-mile-an-hour lap last year. That just proves how quick he is getting on with it. Let's look and talk to the most exciting riders at the TT right now. Gary and Dave Johnson, please put your hands together. I'm glad someone came my way. Welcome here this evening, boys. Have you had a good trip over and everything gone smoothly?
I'm jet lagged to friggin' buggery. I just rolled in yesterday.
You got in yesterday from Sydney?
Adelaide.
Adelaide, right, okay. And yeah, I did it last week and it's not that bad. What's the matter with you?
Oh, I can't even handle it.
All right, you've got the wrong tablets.
Yeah,
made us different stuff these days.
But what seat were you in?
Not at the front.
Oh, right, well, there you go.
At the back somewhere with all these smelly people.
Anyway, lovely to see you here, and the same for Gary, nice to see you here. But I must just start, the Norton's a big project, obviously, for Norton, and a big break for you.
Yeah, it should be good. And coming off last year, and yeah, I spoke to Norton not long after the TT last year, and they put a lot of effort in now to make the bike a lot better. Steve Plater's here tonight. He's been testing it the last 2 days.
He's been at Derby, hasn't he, the last couple of days?
I rode there today as well, did a few laps.
Did you? Is that your first run on it then?
No, I rode it at end of last year as well, but yeah, this is my first with the new generation of it, and it's a lot better, so
okay,
should be good.
Great news. Well, I'm sure we're going to talk about it more. Gary, it's all going to be right this year.
Sorry. Yeah, hopefully so. You know, I'm changing teams too regular, really. I wish I was changing my women as quick, but they'd be fraught with as many problems, to be fair. So with BMW, with the Pens team, you know, they're not new to BMW. They've got good connections in it. You know, good team. They put it on pole at Le Mans at the World Endurance at the weekend. You know, they didn't finish the race, but hopefully that ain't an omen for the TT. But they've had a good run. Michael Rutter rode for them, did some fast laps. And hopefully the same with me. You know, we've got a different change of suspension. We're on K-Tech this year, which was my one of the prerogatives for me to sign. And fingers crossed, smooth run. And I've tested it. It runs pretty good. And I was quite quick on it. And hopefully I can carry that through. What is it about the BMW S1000 that seems to suit the Isle of Man? It seems to be the weapon of choice, like we've said earlier. What is it about the bike? I don't know. They took a long time coming there. It's been a big project for them, back from when Troy Corser started in the World Superbikes, and it come to the Isle of Man. You know, it wasn't the weapon of choice, and it is now. And it's gently evolved. You know, a little bit like the Honda has, and now they're putting good lads on it. You know, I've got Michael Dunlop sitting in front of me on the Bill Base one, and he showed how strong that was a couple of years ago. And there's Ian Hutchinson, who's been putting in some great laps. So some good lads on them, and fingers crossed, you know, I'm one of them, and putting it on the podium.
And Gary, the team are allowing you to bespoke the bike or use some of the parts that you want to use on it?
Yes, I wanted certain bits on it which suited me for the TT, and if I couldn't have that, I wouldn't have signed. So I'm trying to take away some of the problems I've had in the past and make things right. And you know, the bike's been going well. That's the main thing. But the BMW is good. But from there, I'm back on a Triumph. So you know, after 2014, having a great run on that and a win, he obviously fraught with problems after it, and don't want to go into falling off the edge of a cliff and stuff. But back on a Triumph with T3 Racing, and I'm hoping they're going to put a bike under me that they promised, and I'll deliver them the goods.
You're fully fit now, 100%.
Yeah, you know, I could do with a better haircut and maybe some more stylish clothes.
You need to go and see Lee Johnson.
Yeah, I'm fit enough.
Davo, how pleased were you with the 131 plus in the last lap of the Senior LC? I know I saw you afterwards, and no matter what you say now, I know you were a little bit surprised at how quick you'd gone.
I was, and it's always the way, like, because I sort of, my progression, I just wanted to sort of slowly get quicker and quicker. And that lap it felt like the easiest one of the 2 weeks, as they always do. And then, and obviously I did a lot of laps with Hickey. I'm going to miss him this year. He's starting at number 5 now. Last year we were together in every race and every session pretty much. But yeah, it was good, like, doing it together, following him as well. And yeah, it was, and yeah, like I say, the easiest lap always seems to be the best around here. The slow and steady actually works here.
How fast did you think it was, and how much different
just
was
hope that I got 130. And
you got 131.2, I think, was it?
5.95, or thereabouts.
not that you know exactly anything.
No, it's good.
I've got a question come in here, and it says, oh yeah, it's Hickman, Peter Hickman. You are going to miss me having as your starting partner. So
Yeah,
Peter Hickman
yeah.
has sent us a message to say that, well, you've already mentioned it.
I moved up 1 spot, he moved up about 21 spots.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it happens.
He actually, after the race, when the sort of blood was up, he was not a little bit annoyed, but he knew we were behind him, and he knew you were sort of gauging.
Yeah, he was slower than me in a lot of places, holding me up. This is my first lap, I'm just shit on. I need to work on that, that's where he caught me. First 2 laps.
You've said the Norton has changed quite a lot. Give us a clue. What are the main...
Electronics is the big thing, because it's got so much horsepower.
Still got the big Aprilia engine.
Yeah, and it's probably got the most horsepower out of every bike out there.
What do you think it is?
What, the
Horsepower,
power?
yeah.
Over nearly 230.
Is it really? So obviously it needs taming.
Yeah.
There's 2 beasts out there this year.
And it actually feels really good. Like, I did a few laps today, and it's usable power now, so hopefully it can surprise some people. But yeah, I'm not going to predict anything. I'm just going to ride and see where we end up.
And I don't think it was any secret they did have some chassis problems last year.
I think a lot of that was the electronics, just the savage power delivery, which was screwing a lot of it up. But for Cam, it made it really hard for him to ride. And yeah, I think that was sort of causing a lot of the chassis problems.
Okay, yeah,
But,
a very fair point. Have you spoken to Cameron about it at all?
Yeah, not really actually.
Right.
We're a bit like, because I wanted to be his teammate, and then next minute he was not my teammate anymore.
Oh, I see.
I was like, you just arsehole. No, but everything's all amicable with everybody. Everyone's still friends, so that's all good.
Okay.
But it's just, he wants a guaranteed bike that he can win on, so.
Okay, fair point. You've spoken about it briefly, Gary, but back on that Triumph, there's got to be something that you're looking forward to being on.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's like putting on an old pair of slippers and, back to the ways where we left up on the last one. But I've got to go test it. We're out in Spain this weekend. I'm going to see what the boys have done for us, and it's on a constant development program up until the TT. It's not going to... They're not stopping work on it. We tried to get a run out on it at Silverstone, but unfortunately got fraught with some bad weather, and I didn't get to see how it was. I got to crack it back down the straight a couple of times, and it seemed pretty quick, but there's a lot more to it than that. We've got to do the suspension on it, and so I think Spain will be a good test, and then we're going to hopefully do a little bit of a shakedown at Brands Hatch the Friday before we come to the TT, see how the electrics and the Motec's working on it. So fingers crossed. Back on a winning bike.
Sounds like you've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we've got that, but I'm riding in the 650 class. Let's not forget that on the Zebra Marti, the Zebra 650 WK CF bike, and it's a fantastic piece of kit. And like my career's been at the TT, it's been a bit of a roller coaster. One year I'm winning, next year I'm in a hedge and back on the podium, and then and back on a piece of something that doesn't handle, but. This thing, it's been more than capable of winning for the last 2 years. It's the first new manufacturer in 50 years to be, to have a Chinese piece of kit that's capable of winning. Fingers crossed, everything works for the bike. It certainly looks good, and it handles well. It's got all the right ingredients, and we've put some fast laps in practice. We just need to turn them into race laps and race distance.
And have a bit of good luck.
Definitely, everyone needs a look, and now we're making it 4 laps, which is going to make it even harder for everybody else. But the bike's done 16 laps around here on an engine, so it's capable of doing it. It's a strong bike, and fingers crossed I can do it.
And I can't get away from the hair, it seems, from Johnny Walker. He says, does Gaz get his hair cut the same place as Dean? Buy one, get one free.
I got the free one.
Dean bought a bad one. All I can say is you're lucky you've got some. How about put it together for these guys, ladies and gentlemen, Dave O'Johnson and Gary Johnson. The Johnsons, it sounds like some sort of Mr. Sheen polish, doesn't it?
Now then, I hope you're all feeling nice and patriotic. Are you? Good, 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 because now we have our Manx segment. Hey! The Isle of Man has always been represented strongly on the track of the TT, but never has it fielded homegrown talent in both the Honda and the Yamaha official squads until now. Conor Cummins stays with the official Honda squad for the 3rd year, looking to add to his 6 podium finishes, whilst Yamaha have secured the services of Dan Neen, who heads up their official entry with Martrain Racing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the Isle of Man's 2 130-mile-an-hour plus riders, Conor Cummins and Dan Neen.
Nice to see you. This is gonna be the best day of my life. Welcome, boys. Lovely to see you here. You haven't had far to come. You're not moaning like Dave Johnson jet lag. You're not jet lagged, actually. But just before you get into this came in and Dave Johnson's left. Is it true that Dave-O said Google me to a girl he met last night? Would you think he'd... That's ridiculous, Dave-O. Right, sorry. No jet lag for you guys.
Yeah, I had to go to Foxdale today.
Oh yeah, of course. It's a long old way, isn't it? There's headwind as well.
Long drive, so I had to bring the passport. So, no.
Okay, all right. Conor, you've been flying around a fair bit though.
Yeah, a bit further than Foxdale. Been to, well, crikey, where do I start? Doing a bit of testing in Spain, and we just come back from the Le Mans 24-hour in France last weekend, which didn't really turn out to be a success story.
It was going good, wasn't it?
It was going really well, yeah. There's 3 of us, myself, John, and Steve Mercer. For Jackson Racing and David Knight actually.
He got to practice, but not to. I saw him at Silverstone, and I wondered why he was at Silverstone when he should be at Le Mans.
He put on a stellar performance, to be honest. You know, so all 4 of us rode really well for Jackson Racing, and it's just a bit of crap luck that we didn't get the result that I thought we were going to get and deserved, really.
A silly little sensor or something, is that right?
Yeah, there was basically the bike put out a little bit of oil, and it didn't really make it safe enough to carry on. But it's endurance racing, it's 24-hour race, and anything can happen there. Really.
Yeah, with the endurance racing, I did a bit in my time, and you want if it's going to break down, you want it in the first hour because then you don't put the effort in. Last couple of hours, if it blows, that is soul destroying.
Yeah, it was actually. In hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
When that happened, I thought, you know what, I would have been better off firing it into the tyre wall at turn 1, lap 1. No, it would have been a better bet, as opposed to getting 15, 16 hours in. Yeah. But hey ho, that's motorbike racing. Eh?
It is.
Dan, Conor's out there flogging his coffee. What keeps you busy throughout the year?
Well, I've just been getting myself prepped really for the season.
Cheers for the plug there.
Yeah, just getting myself sorted out, and obviously got sorted early on with the ride with Martrain, so just sort of concentrate on that really, and doing a bit of training, and yeah, it's all going to plan so far.
Testing?
Yeah, done a little bit in Cartagena, and we've done some stuff back in Ireland as well, not quite as warm there though, and had a race Kirkstown Easter Monday, just a bit of practice. And that was, went well. So far so good.
What about the Yamaha around the TT course? Because there's been.
Ask me after June.
It came here as a new bike last year. It's now started winning in various championships throughout the world. It's obviously a winning bike. Are you looking forward to getting to grips with it around here?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's proven itself. Elsewhere on the circuits all around the world, and and that's first season as well. So. I'm really enjoying it. The bike's a lot different to ride than Honda Kawasaki's and Suzuki's, but I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, real torquey thing, quite smooth. It's quite a small bike as well. But yeah, no, I'm squeezing myself onto it and I'm enjoying it. So.
No,
I thought you'd gone to sleep there, Steve.
So, Connor, how is the coffee world?
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is his coffee? Is it any good? Is it good? All right. Do I get a discount?
I'll just accept all the good comments, thank you. It's actually going really well. You know, Coffee Man. It's give us a follow on Twitter if you wouldn't mind. Buy a bag of coffee, machine, whatever. Anyway, yeah, it's going really good. You know, going into second year of business now, and yeah, living a dream. It's certainly keeping me awake anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Now, do you know that these two guys are not the only Manxmen looking at breaking records this June? This is a bit different because long-term TT partner Subaru and their star man Mark Higgins are going to have a real crack, and they've got some real equipment to do it at their own four-wheel lap record of the TT course. Do you want a little look about how they're going about this?
I think we should, just to see what has gone on with the four wheels.
Right, to tell us a little bit more about how they're getting prepared for the four-wheel lap record attempt, please welcome onto the stage all-round legend, really, and good guy, and three-time British Rally champion, Mark Higgins.
Hello, Mark. Lovely to see you. Grab a seat. I've heard it that people kind of queue up and want to get in that car with you.
I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I've seen some of the footage.
Yeah.
But it's remarkable the times and speeds that you're getting around it. But I bumped into, I think he's your boss, David Richards, the other day, and he tells me this is a proper tool you've got this year.
Yeah, I think, well, it's nearly 6 years ago since we had the sort of pipe dream to come over here with pretty much a standard car. And this was the wish list, really. So I think you have to be careful what you wish for sometimes. And they've built this car. Proper brakes on it. It's a lot safer. You know, it's a proper race car.
You did mention last year.
Yeah, right. And yeah, I think it's gonna be awesome. Should be really good.
I mean, it's the same on two wheels as four wheels to a certain extent. When someone gives you a much faster car that's got all the bits and pieces, then you feel as though you've got to push it a bit harder yourself. So it's, you know, a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Really, I get to go around the best course in the world with it closed off just for myself. I do quite a lot of things around the world, and the TT by far, and driving that car around the TT course is the highlight of everything I've ever done. So there's pressure to do a good time, and yeah, we want to go faster this year, but do it in a good manner.
You have a figure in mind, time in mind?
I think, like a lot of the guys say, you know, they've got a figure in their head, but it's best keeping it in my head for now.
Right, okay, they're all doing.
I want to ask the guys, they obviously live on the Isle of Man. You've obviously driven the roads in cars, you're going to work or wherever you're going. Do you not ever fancy, and obviously know the course so well, do you not ever fancy getting a proper weapon of a car or a bike's your thing?
Bikes are my thing, yeah. But I would love a go with yourself and the car there. I think I need a spare set of underpants.
Look, looking at Dan there, he's quite fancying to go himself. You can tell he's got that look.
I've done it on open roads a few times.
That's what I meant.
No, you haven't really.
That's actually what I was getting at.
I'd best not tell you any more about that, to be honest. Yeah.
Was it a good lap?
Sorry?
Was it a good lap?
Oh yeah, I was on it. Absolutely sideways, like not in control though. So.
Yeah. I can't believe Connor said he wants spare underpants. I've got a roll cage of metal around me. What's he talking about?
Yeah, different, isn't it?
I have a question here from one Callister. Who's the best on a supermoto, Dan or Connor? Oh, that's a good one. Mark says he
I think it's Ewan, not Juan.
Oh, sorry, Ewan. Oh, okay. Apologies, but we've got so many people from all over the world coming in here.
He's not Spanish.
Oh, he isn't Spanish at all, right, okay.
We haven't really had any races yet, to be honest.
You haven't had a back-to-back yet?
No, that's it, yeah. So.
Okay.
But whenever there's any racing on, Connor tends to go home, to be honest. So, but,
all right. All right, well, let's see. Now, I have a very serious question. You guys arguably know the course as well as anyone out there. Mark, you've been round, I don't know, how many laps do you think you've done now? Any idea?
Quickly, we've only actually done 6 laps in total. So we've done a few VIP laps. We don't get practice. We just go and do the runs on the day. So every time I go out there, I'm learning.
I was about to say, do you find that every single lap you go, you find somewhere that arguably you've got wrong or you can get it better and that type of thing that goes on all the while?
Oh, yeah, massively. I mean, you just push it a bit more and you're fine. And as you know, you look at the guys that are quick here, it's all about experience.
Yeah.
And being comfortable in your machinery. And yeah, we're just hoping to learn a bit more every time. We watch all the bikes all the time and watch all the in-car and the bike cams, and it's amazing what you learn.
Okay. Dan, I mean, you're kind of fairly new to it. You're a young guy out there, but is there a lot more to learn for you?
It's bits and pieces everywhere, isn't it? You know, if you can go a little bit faster everywhere, then it's a long lap. So you know, you're gonna knock a fair chunk of time off. So it's it's more about just getting comfortable with the bike you're on, and you know, for me anyway, and just getting the best out of it, and that's it really. You know, it's yeah, just do my best.
A question coming in, I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but I think it's Leela Necki, and she wants to know, Dan, would you please marry me?
Send us a picture
and
first.
for Leela that's listening, Dan wants to know how much money you've got. How big's your house? There you go. You've got a fan that's watching tonight, and she wants to marry you. So there you go. But you're already taken. You're already taken. For
I am, yeah. I'm spoken for.
Okay. There you go. Down to you then, Connor. Connor, you arguably have done more laps, I guess, around the course than anyone sat here. That's this bunch here. You're still learning lots.
Yeah, I don't think you ever stop learning. You know, first lap of practice, it's a bit of an eye-opener. And I think you still have to remind yourself how, you know, fast you need to go around this place. But I've always picked up something every lap I've done around the course, every year. Yeah, you always pick up something, whether it be a new bump on the road or, you know, yeah.
Do you think it's sometimes a dangerous thing to believe that you've stopped learning? You've got, I mean, the place evolves anyway, but with any sport, it's always about learning, but this place even more so because there's different driveways, roads, there's different surfaces.
Yeah, it's an evolving course, I guess, to a certain extent, isn't it?
That's it. You know, the tracks change, and like Connor says, different bumps appear here and there, and the bikes are changing, the tyres are different. So, you know, year on year, things are slightly different anyway, so you've just got to adapt to it.
John McGuinness, who we'll be talking to later, says he loves that Fireblade. It feels like an old pair of slippers. Is that the same for you? It's something that you know, you trust in, and it fits you?
Yeah, definitely. I've done two full years on it now, and yeah, going to the third year, it is like an old set of boots you stick on, and you know, fairly familiar with it now, and you know, just come back from, as I say, the Le Mans 24 Hour. It's certainly part of my arse anyway. You know, I know it inside out now. I know what works on it.
And you know,
there's me saying that though. There's me saying that though. I'll probably get to the TT and think, oh, try something different.
Well, in actual fact, you know that bike works around it as well. It's been the most successful bike in recent years.
That's it. You know, I've done a few interviews this last couple of days, and you know, people say this, that, and the other about what you're changing, and is it competitive enough, and you know,
I mean, quite honestly, this year it's been competitive in World Superbikes and in British Superbikes. So it's actually is getting better and better, it seems, and it still works, and it's still very competitive.
Yep. It won the senior TT.
Yeah,
that's good enough for you.
That's ticks all the boxes for me.
Mark, you ride motorbikes?
Yeah, I try to.
Right.
And that's why I went to four wheels when I started doing trials with people like Niter and Steve Colley and that, and I realised I had no talent on two wheels.
I once went out with that lot some years ago, and you're always the one shutting the gate, aren't you, when they've gone? That's what I found. Anyway.
Well, we were in France doing some enduro riding the other week, and I've got a race bike as well, which I've been to Almeria a few times, but I sort of run out of talent when I get to a few of the bends I'm not quite sure on, but
okay.
I love the bikes. It's
but
fantastic.
you've done a few laps around here on bikes, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And is there any correlation? Is there anything that... I mean, obviously there is, the corners are the same, but you've got something that's 4 times as wide in the car.
Yeah, I mean, there's places where we've got a corner where the bike's going straight through it.
Yeah.
I mean, generally a car, if you take like a Formula 1 car, I think like that program on TV with Guy, the Formula 1 car is massively quicker than a bike.
Sure.
But you haven't got that many big, long corners here. And we did a bit of a time from Craignabar down to Brandish, just of one of the top super bikes. And in a 20-second run, they take 4.5 seconds off you in that point in acceleration.
Just because of the
pure
speed?
power to weight ratio.
Yeah, right.
So we've got to try and just make it up where we can and avoid all the bumps.
Brandish is flat though for you, I guess.
Pretty well, yeah.
It's going to be this year,
just
isn't it?
Just a bit of grass on the inside.
It's going to be this year, isn't it?
Yeah, we hope so.
It depends on how fast that car is, doesn't it? How about it? Ladies and gentlemen, superstars, the Manx boys.
Just for the record, I'm ready when you are, son. Supermoto, come on.
Okay.
See that?
It's all on. You better...
I think we've
Where's
touched
it
a
gonna,
nerve there.
we're going to film it. We've got cameras here,
Yeah,
haven't we? We're going to
touched a
film
nerve
it.
there.
Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Connor Cummins, Dan Neen, and Mark Higgins. Thank you, mate. Lovely seeing you. Cheers, Dan. Okay. Kawasaki are fielding 2 strong teams at the TT this year, with the Quattro Plant Muck-Off Kawasaki and the JG Speedfit Kawasaki, and they're lining up with 2 riders starting inside the top 5. James Hillier continues his association with Quattro Plant Kawasaki, looking to build on a superb TT last year that saw him stand on the podium 3 times, as well as notching up laps in excess of 132 miles an hour, whilst the JG Speedfit take on the event for a second time with the revelation of the past 2 years, Peter Hickman, on board their factory-supported machines. How about giving it up, ladies and gentlemen, for James Hillier and Peter Hickman? Hi, James. Hi guys, hello Peter. Congratulations. First, must I just say how hugely impressed we all were, and I'm sure your team was, and I'm sure you were. What a great result you had at the weekend.
Yeah, I was quite impressed with myself, to be fair.
I would say you would be, yeah. Thanks for the tweet, by the way.
That's all right, I was just trying to get everyone involved, you know.
Yeah, very much so, yeah.
No, it was a really good weekend for myself and the whole team, really.
Did you think that could happen at any point?
Yes and no. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm employed to win races in BSB as much as I am to come to the TT and do as best as I can. So, you know, everyone's kind of seeing me in the team at the minute as a bit of a third kind of rider. And
I bet they're not now.
Well, they did. They did until about 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon anyway. So, no, it's, you know, we've all been really close in testing, to be fair. You know, all 3 of us have been going really well on the new Kawasaki ZX-10 with the shower suspension that the team has changed to this year. We've got more support from Kawasaki, we've got more support from the World Superbike team as well, and it's all kind of building into what's looking like to be a really strong year for me and the 2 teammates.
Got to be promising when you can do that on a short circuit, knowing that you're coming to the Isle of Man with a kit you like and a team that kind of knows what they're in at that level.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the big difference for me this year as well is actually being testing for once. You know, I mean, last year I had 18 laps before turning up at BSB round 1.
Yeah.
That went quite well though, in fairness.
And to be fair, that went all right. So, you know, we've done probably 5 or 6 tests this year already over the winter months, and straight away it's showing just kind of what the difference it makes, especially for me anyway. I always take a little bit of time to get myself going, and the GP Motor team's managed to put me in a position where I can obviously win BSB races, and there's no doubt that we can obviously be at the sharp end of the road races as well.
James, how's your prep going? The quiet man.
He's been busy selling at the shop, haven't you?
Good, yeah. I mean, we don't ever overdo it with testing and things. This year, obviously, there's a new ZX-10, which has taken hasn't required a lot of work, but we've put more work into it to put ourselves in the best position we can. And fortunately, we could relay a lot of the data across from the old bike, which obviously is proven. So, and obviously, Pete has shown what it's capable of on the short circuit. So. I'm ready to go, really. I want to get cracking. We've done a bit in Spain. We've got a few other tests coming up. And I just want to get stuck in, really. I'm ready to go, I think.
Is the new ZX10, is that the only change? Because everything else seems to be the same team, same crew. Is that
yeah,
fair?
It's, you know, we just keep it the same. We got a new truck, actually, this year. It's, not that makes me any faster or slower, so our hospitality will be a little bit different and the garage layout, but you know, it's consistency is a big key, especially for me. I find you know, it just makes my life easier. I can just get on the bike in practice week and take on from where I left off the year before, and that definitely is an advantage. You know, it's limited, the amount of laps and track time you get at TT. So the more you can keep the same, the better you are off.
Every single year you have got quicker and got better incrementally, in a real sort of measured way, including last year. Is this going to continue? Going to go? You're 132 man now. Is there more to come?
Yeah. You know, I'm 100% positive that I've got more in me than what I did last year. Obviously, the conditions have to be right and things have to be in the right place. But you know, last year was my best year to date at the TT, and I probably did the least riding I ever have in over 10 years. So I'm hungry for it. You know, I need to be winning races now. We've sort of proven what we can do, and it's I never try to expect what's going to happen or aim too high. I just do my best, and you know, hopefully my best will be enough.
Yeah, you're a bit of an under-promise, over-deliver kind of guy, aren't you? Peter, for you, it's been almost the opposite. Meteoric, 129 your first year, then your second year, just in 2015, 131 plus. You've got to be looking at some kind of mega result this year, have you not? Is that too much pressure, or?
I don't know, really. I mean, yeah, I mean, loads of people are saying, oh, you can go and win a race this year, or you can be on the podium this year, but it is only year 3 for me. Okay, I've been fast in the last 2 years, but I'm still massively inexperienced compared to like James or any of the other guys around me. I mean, I've got a guy starting 10 seconds in front who's won 11 TTs and God knows how many podiums, and a guy starting behind who's won 11 and God knows how many podiums, and I've not even sat on a podium yet. So for me, there isn't any pressure there at all, because I've not been on the podium. You know, if I'd been on the podium already, then the pressure's there to continue doing it. Once you get to that kind of stage, then obviously anything but that is a disaster, really, isn't it, for a racer? So the way I'm looking at it is, at the minute, I'm just going to take it as another year, it's another step. I'm obviously coming on a new manufacturer this year, Kawasaki, with the new ZX10R, which is going to be a change for me anyway. And I've also only done it on super stock bikes at the minute. So this will be the first year that I actually bring a super bike over to the Isle of Man. And that's going to be a new dynamic for me anyway, so it's all changed.
Is it going to be helpful starting at the front more? Was it a problem for you last year?
It wasn't a massive problem last year. I mean, obviously there's people to pass, and again, my inexperience doesn't help with that, because I'm not entirely sure where I can pass and where I should pass, where it's safe to a lot of the time. I've got a good idea, because obviously I know how to ride a bike and I'm not stupid, or at least I think I'm not stupid anyway. Maybe riding the Isle of Man TT, people do call you stupid, but yeah, so you end up moving on to different parts of the circuit that I've never been onto before, and then you find bumps that you didn't even know existed and things like that. So it was difficult in that respect, that I had to pass quite a few people, but it's not going to make too much of a difference, I don't think. The good thing for me, fingers crossed, obviously Michael's starting 10 seconds behind. If and when he comes through, then I've got someone to learn off for once, you know. For everything I've been doing so far, I've been by myself and passing. I haven't been passed. So this year might be a new experience where I can actually learn off somebody.
Yeah. That's just don't get past is the answer, isn't it?
Or don't get past at all,
Exactly.
in which case everything's going mint.
Exactly, that's the way to do it. You've got quite a few races prior to getting here, though.
Yeah, we got this second round of the British Superbike Championship at Oulton Park, and then we moved straight on to the Northwest. And then we've got the third round of the British Superbike Championship at Brands Indy straight away after that, and then come straight to the TT. So I've got 5 weeks on the bounce. For them kind of 5 weeks is going to be quite difficult.
How different will the bike be that you've got here to what you're running back there?
Good question. Possibly going to be exactly the same bike. The only difference will be that I run on Dunlops on the road races. So obviously in British Superbike Championship we have to run the controlled tyre. My preference is the Dunlop tyre for the roads, and that's what I'll be on. So apart from that, it's more than likely going to be the same bike.
Okay, all right. Which, again, is probably beneficial from your point of view.
Yeah, exactly. It's something I'm going to be comfortable on. I've got a lot of experience on, or I will have, especially by then. I'll have a lot more experience on it, which is definitely going to bode well for the Isle of Man TT races.
With the result that you had on Sunday, we watched in awe of what you did. Is it the best bike you've ridden?
Yeah, it is the best bike. It's the best bike, it's the best team. The support I've got from the mechanics and the crew chiefs are absolutely phenomenal. So at the minute I'm not wanting for anything, which is the first time really in my career that I've had that. So, and it's good that I've finally got that and then proved straight away that I can win races at BSB, which is what I've always felt. And the only reason I turn up on a Friday morning and try to have a crack is because I think I can win a race. And it's nice to, once now I've got that opportunity, I can do it and prove to myself as well as everyone else.
Peter's known as probably the best all-rounder when you compare roads and short circuits these days. You were no slouch on short circuit yourself. Do you miss that side of it, or do you see yourself as a pure roadsman now?
I definitely don't miss some aspects of it.
Like tyre walls.
But you know, it's that same competitiveness that you sort of chase, you know, and I'm not going to lie, I watched some of the live timing last weekend, and I did wish I was out there competing. But
figuring out where you would have slotted into it?
Well, yeah, well, hoping I was going to slot into, and you know, and I wouldn't probably turn down an opportunity to go and have another go. It's but especially the last few years, my focus has been TT, and that's what I've enjoyed doing and what I get the most return from. You know, and I thrive off that. That's what I kind of am hungry for. That's what my natural ambition is chasing a big win at the TT. So that's where I put my attention, and fingers crossed it'll pay off.
Yeah, I remember you were good short circuit man in your day, son.
Yeah, I had some big crashes, and
you were young.
Yeah, and you bend a bit. You know, I fall off my trials bike now and hurt myself. It's just, I'm sort of over that. I just like going fast at TT, and that's me.
I remember racing against you at Mallory Park on a Aprilia Super Team bike, and you launched yourself so high on a 125. I didn't actually think you could actually high side that high.
You were smaller then.
It was out the hairpin. It was huge.
Was I beating you or not?
You were beating me actually until you're that point.
Talking of beating, question from Mark Woodyat. He wants to know, Hickey, are you looking forward to chasing Hutchie this year?
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to chasing Hutchie. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's a whole new experience being at the kind of the front of the order. So yeah, it's going to be good fun. It's definitely going to be interesting.
Okay, your preparations. You're not going to have time for any preparations. Basically, it's just like race, jump on a ferry here and race again.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough, especially changing tyre manufacturers. And then obviously when we come over to the Northwest and for the Isle of Man, we're riding more than one bike. So it's not just a super bike; it's a super stock. I've got lightweight now with John Burrows as well, which is going to be really good. I'm looking forward to riding the little twin for the first time. And I've also actually got my own Supersport effort as well, which actually hasn't been announced yet, but will be in the next couple of weeks.
Okay, so you're changing to the Dunlops here?
Yeah, everything on the road racing will be on the Dunlops, and then obviously when I go back to BSB, we have to run them Scarellis.
Okay, Scarellis they are.
Slipperellis or something like that.
Be careful what you say. I think we have interrogated you two guys enough, unless you've got anything you want to tell us. How's the shop going, just quickly, James?
Good. This month's been good, actually. You know, I've been working hard on an online business called YourMoto.bike. Is kind of.
I was waiting for you to get that plug in.
Yeah, well, I don't do it enough, to be honest. So I've got to start doing that, you know, and making it work. It's all online clothing and motorcycle accessories, basically. It's just kind of using my time, you know. I get a bit bored. I don't do a lot in the year, just a couple of bike races, and
you need a badge on.
I was going to say,
on your shirt.
Yeah, are you taking a leaf out of Bruce's kind of book, are you?
Well, I think he's happy doing nothing. He just sleeps and flies helicopters, model helicopters, and
sleeps.
Yeah, and
sleeps some more.
Yeah, and grows hair.
Yeah, he does.
While he's asleep.
He most certainly does.
What's the mates rates on the shop anyway? I've not asked you this yet.
I'll tell you at the back.
Okay, tell you at the back.
10%
How about it?
nugget.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. Peter Hickman, the winner of the British Superbike round. Well done to you. James, lovely seeing you. Good luck with all the shot, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you very, very shortly.
It's sidecar time again now, and it's time to meet the two teams who, to be honest, most people would say are their favourites going into the racing this year. Ben and Tom Birchall were already world champions and TT winners before last year, but they really came of age in 2015, taking victory in both Sure sidecar races, as well as lapping in excess of 116 miles an hour. They've now got a new team behind them for 2016 and will no doubt be looking to build on their success achieved last June. Looking in quite a big way to stop them in the tracks will be Dave Molyneux and his returning passenger Dan Sale. With 17 wins and 29 podium finishes, Dave is, without doubt and by a long way, the most successful TT sidecar competitor of all time, and actually the third most successful rider overall. His race finish to podium ratio, which is quite important for some, is now 33 race finished to just 4 of them off the podium. That is quite incredible. He's also the outright lap record holder, and he did that whilst he was racing that final last lap duel with the Birchall boys last year. His passenger Dan Sale is the most successful passenger of all time too, with 8 victories to his name with no fewer than 3 different drivers. It's shaping up to be a real scrap. Ladies and gents, please welcome Ben and Tom Birchall and Dave Molyneux and Dan Sale.
Right, fellas. First question I have, the times are coming down, the bike's getting faster. How hard are you having to try to do this? I think probably, before you answer that, should we just have a little look at a clip? Well, I know there's been a few fairing modifications, but I just hope they haven't made them any wider.
There's a bit left.
There's a bit left there, was there? All right, well, but it's full on, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Certainly for me, in that race, that when Dave got his head down and started charging, and you know, if anybody can make a gap up, it's Dave. And as soon as I worked that out, I could see helicopter had moved off me and moved further in front, and I thought, And then a guy gave me a board just coming, I think just after Grebe, and my normal signals at Ballacrane. So from that point on, I knew that Dave was really pushing hard, and I'd lost some time. And from then on, I gave it everything that I'd got. There's no doubt in that.
Nothing left in the tank. Yeah. David.
Yep.
You just have to back off from that corner. Just
that couldn't have got much closer to Grebe there, could it? That was cleaning the bales there.
Had they widened?
I think there was a bit of dust between us. I don't think it was a full kiss, you know.
Had they widened those barriers a little bit? Do you think them bales were a bit bigger?
Yeah. They're soft as well, you know.
Well, you certainly aren't doing that.
What do you guys? What does the passengers? I'm interested to know what the passengers think when something like that happens. I know it wasn't you on board with it, but certainly, Tom, when you had that big wide kind of swoop into the gooseneck there, you actually did you tap him or hit him, or you did something with your hand? What was that all about?
Yeah, well, I thought about giving him a good hiding, to be honest. I thought, what's that all about? No, looking at that, you know, it does look really bad, doesn't it? You know, but when you're in the thick of things, you're just in the groove, and you're doing what you're doing. That was pretty, you know, out of the blue. That's not how it is for the rest of the lap. But my mum will be pleased to know that. But no, it was just one of them things, and you know, we dusted the sends off and cracked on with the rest of the race and lap. But it's one of them things you've just sometimes got to get your head around it and carry on.
Dan, it's all about trust between you sidecar crews, and the decision to actually step in with a certain rider, do you look at the kind of safety record of what they've done, or is it what?
Nah, not really. Just... nah.
Do you just look at how quick they are?
No, yeah.
It's a success you're after?
No, it's hard really. They've got to be a good drinker really, and a good crack and that sort of thing, you know.
Good man there then.
Well,
yeah.
Failed there because I'm a shit drinker. You have got better. Yeah. Have I? Yeah, what about that bottle of
Microphones, can you pass that?
Dave, take that and just tell us about your new outfit. I've seen pictures of it and it looks stunning. I mean, not that yours don't ever, but the whole new shape to the front end, a lot kind of just looks a pointy machine to me.
Yeah, I want to apologise for not having it here tonight. We've had some issues with the damn thing and ran out of time, couldn't get it here. That was it in a nutshell. Cancelled Scarborough this weekend because, yeah, I need to be in the garage. But anyway, the thing, yeah, it should be a lot better this year. Aerodynamically, it should be better. It looks all right, but we won't know till it's on a high-speed track. You know? You've always said that aerodynamically you're looking to make not so much. You're looking for flat-out speed. You're looking for an aerodynamic shape that makes the bike work and handle. And yeah, but I think I went too much that direction, and it definitely
cost you top end.
Yeah, well, it definitely did. There's no question about that. But the bike handled really good for it. You know, it stuck to the ground really well and cornered either right or left, just the same. It didn't really make any difference. I don't think it'll be like that now. I think it'll be a bit more of a handful to ride, no doubt, but it'll definitely have a bit more top speed.
And that's what you feel you need?
Yeah,
that's
well,
what we said.
yeah, I'm not getting any younger, and riding corners like that isn't the best of fun sometimes. It's pretty intense, you know. You're asking how hard it is. I can't even begin to tell you how hard it is. I'll tell you how hard it is. Nearest thing I could explain it. I like watching old boxing like Chris Eubank, Nigel Benn. So stick them boys in the last round and they're both trying to put each other on the floor still. That's pretty much what it's like here. You know, it's all the way and more. It definitely is.
To be honest, it looks physical. It looks...
Well, it is. We're doing it because we all want to win, you know. There's a bunch of other guys there wanting to do the same thing. But if you've got any fire in your belly, it's a fight. Yeah. It's no stroll in the park, you know. Yeah, I still got a bit of fire in my belly, so I'll fight.
Ben, you've got to agree with that, because you've had your moments round here. It hasn't just been sort of smooth sailing for you, has it?
No, I've had my fair share of it. More than I ever wanted. But it's if you want to get on and do well, you try hard and you know you accept your own consequences, what that brings. But it's difficult. It's hard. If it were good, anybody would be doing it. You know, if it were that easy, anybody could do it. And to do them speeds that we do and that all the guys do to get up that high, it is difficult. Yeah.
And one thing about the sidecar fraternity is you pretty much all work on your own bikes. I know, Dave, you construct your own bikes, your own welding, composite work, and now you two guys are involved in the same thing. You're making your outfits ground up.
Yeah, they're not things that you can just go and buy from a shop or buy bits from a shop. The nature of them is difficult. They're a prototype machine, and you know they need developing constantly, which is what we do and what Dave does to keep them up there, and then you know the rest of it's filtered down to the other guys, and it's that's the nature of it, and it's part of the love and the enjoyment of it.
How much for you, Dave? How much satisfaction do you get from? Is it the riding and winning, or is it making something that you know you can do that on? You spend a lot of shed time. You've got a lot of hours in that shed.
Too much. Got cabin fever this winter, I'll tell you. But yeah, the riding is definitely the key. That's the thing for me. I still want to be the best I can be, you know. But the building the bike and getting a result on it comes after that.
Yeah.
It definitely does. Although I have to say, I wouldn't ride anything other than my own. I just don't think I have that confidence to go and get on like Ben and Tom's bike.
It must
and ride as hard.
It must add to the satisfaction, something that you've built and you shared as such and got out there with.
Yeah, strange feeling really, because I don't really think about that ever. But yeah, I just don't. I do it, I ride it, and hopefully do all right on it, you know.
Yeah. You've had, Dave, you've had a bit of help, have you, with one of the universities with your aerodynamics? Or? Yeah,
it was pretty limited. I mean, they were restricted by budget as well. I think Ben and Tom were in a similar position as well some years back. And the universities are a great help and very theoretical, but it was a bit of help, but not the whole hog, you know. We didn't get wind tunnel. We never got any time like that. It's just too expensive. So it came down to just simple little things which build up to a bit of a difference, but it really is our own development and our own ideas. And like I said, I've built this new fairing this year based on a few other designs and then our own launched into it. It feels good on track, but until you get out on a TT course doing somewhere near 150 mile an hour, I hope, you just don't know. I mean, it might handle atrocious. I don't know yet. It'll be a suck and see.
We'll see how it is, okay. Well, I believe there's a documentary.
Yeah, I was just going to ask Dave, how's it been working with a camera around you? Because there's a documentary about to be released focusing on sidecar racing at the TT, featuring everybody, but you, especially. I've seen you.
I just got told I'm the Isle of Man's answer to Tom Cruise when he's 70.
Have you got a win?
So I didn't know how to take that, really. But
well, actually, it's an Isle of Man-based company.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they've done a great job, and it's quite flattering, really. You know,
yeah.
It makes you look a little bit good.
Well, we'll tell you in a minute because we're going to see a little trailer now.
Let's have a look at a clip from it.
Have a look at this.
It's got to be the lightest bike, most powerful bike, and the fastest bike. The standard fuel pump is in the fuel tank, and it needs to be in as well.
Yeah, so I have to say, very much like Tom Cruise on there. Look, yeah, it's amazing what the camera does for you.
That's due to be aired apparently before the end of the year. So
I believe so.
Yeah, we all very much look forward to that. We've had these questions coming in. I'm just looking for any more tweets coming in, but we've had some earlier on. What's the lap is the lap record going to go this year, boys?
We'll see.
We'll see.
Who knows? It's one of them, isn't it? Yeah. Let's hope it does, and let's hope that.
Ben, I spoke to you down at the NEC just about this very subject. You won the race. He nicked the lap record. You reckoned you could have gone as quick if you'd have known that you were as close, and if you didn't have a lead. Is that it's still niggling you? Because it was niggling you then.
You can look back. It would have been nice, but at the end of the day, you know, when you're in lead, you ride to that gap, and you try and keep win where you are. And I've been leading them before and done things I shouldn't have. So I'd been in that position before. But yeah, it was. To be honest, it didn't bother me. Dave deserved that lap record. You know, he was on it as much as what I was, and I was just really happy to have won the race. But you can analyse it and you can pull your sector times apart and all that lot. But at the end of the day, it's down to the day, and it's me and him and whoever else is involved.
And the bottom line is a lap record doesn't necessarily win a race, so and winning the race is what you want.
Yeah,
it's all right, isn't it? It's an added bonus, but it doesn't get you no prizes. So, you know.
Tom, would you sit beside anybody else except your brother?
Depend if she were a good-looking woman. No, I got asked this earlier on. You know, it was like, how did you start? You know, when did it all begin? And I've started with him, you know, as a young lad, as like 15, 16, and it turned into something quite quickly. You know, we got on, gelled straight away, and you know, he's my big brother, and we've always been mates anyway. And And we work well off at bike, on the bike. We work together all day, every day, building them, for customers, and it just works. It just gels. But no, I won't ride with anybody else now. No,
because it seems to me that passengers are quite good. Passengers are really sought after, especially around here, because it's such an oddball circuit they only get to do once a year.
Yeah, and I suppose it's like any other classes. You get into that bracket of the lap times, and you're asking a lot of that the bike, so you need to find every little tiny bit everywhere you can. And if there is a bit in a passenger being a bit different in another way, then then there's a time there as well.
And finally, there is a tweet in, and it's almost certainly for Dan, because it's from Solby Glen Hotel. Very best of luck, simply for all you guys out there. Have a good one. That's from Mum, I think, Dan. Almost. All right. Any wishes back?
I think she's in here tonight, so she'll be, I don't know, knocking around. She should be working, in all fairness. Getting some money in the fire in the pot. We all need it.
Okay. How about it? Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for two. Thank you very much indeed. Cheers. Have a great year. Hope it all goes really well. We'll look forward to watching. Good luck. Go back to get your pint now, I think, can't you? Right, we finish, or we don't really finish, because there's still a lot to talk about here, with three men who on paper are undoubtedly the men to beat at the TT in 2016 and have been in the past as well. All three of them legends that between them have won an amazing 45 races and racked up 82 podium finishes. It is just quite extraordinary. We have, of course, Michael Dunlop, still in the formative years of his career, despite chalking up 11 TT wins, already eager to put, in his standards, probably a disastrous 2015 behind him and get on. He is back on a BMW, of course, this year. We also have Ian Hutchinson, Hutchie, who is very much in the prime and has fought back from a career-threatening injury to take 3 victories last year, and, of course, on his way to the overall Joey Dunlop TT Champions Trophy on the Tyco BMW. And the man in, I guess, arguably his twilight career, but you certainly wouldn't know it, showing no signs of slowing down, of course, John McGuinness remains king of the mountain, coming back from being written off through injury a couple of years ago to claim a dramatic senior TT win, of course, and the outright lap record, just a couple of seconds shy of the 17-minute lap. How about it? Ladies and gentlemen, please give a massive applause for Michael Dunlop, Ian Hutchinson and John McGuinness.
Well, your left hand's free and your right's in grip, with another left hand watches right and slip. Schwartz is gone.
Thank you, Michael. Hi, John. Lovely to see you up here. Watch out, there's a microphone. And yes, I think I'll give you that microphone down here. There's a couple of things that I'm going to say, and one is, John, congratulations, of course, on the Seagrave Trophy.
Yeah,
I mean, a wonderful award. And Hutchie for the Torrens Trophy. So both you boys have been at the RAC, the Royal Automobile Club, this year.
Yeah, I was a bit out of my depth there. There was a lot of posh,
bit posh, isn't it?
A lot of posh people in there.
Posh, isn't it?
Yeah. Got a suit on. I got married in that suit as well, and only cost me 100 quid, so I was looking a bit average. But yeah, mega. Yeah, sat there with some greats. I had Sterling Moss on my table and old Murray Walker. So it was.
Did they check
they're
your
all
pockets?
deaf and blind now, but they're obviously heroes in the day.
Did they check your pockets for the silver when you left?
Somebody told me it's gold. It's proper gold. So if anybody wants to throw me a bid at it, I'll take a bid. Might be worth a few quid.
Yeah. And Hutchie, you were there early in the year.
Is the Seagrave Award bigger than the Torrens Award?
Apparently size doesn't matter, James said.
I've always said that.
Yeah, it's a posh old place down there, and I don't know, I'd never heard of it before I got invited down for it, but when you get to the venue, you realise that it's obviously quite highly thought of achievement, so it was a nice few days.
Okay. Michael, you've been to lots of awards this year, of course, back home and everything else, and you're coming to a lot more this year, I think, aren't you?
No, I just run around Belfast throwing stones, really, you know, so... That's what we do out there, we just take a few people out and stuff like that, so That's all we get up to. We don't wear fancy dresses, we just wear balaclavas.
Michael, I tell you what, you did come across well on the Mavericks piece. I enjoyed that. Good.
Yeah, it was a good old show. You know, it's one of them sort of things you'd love to have been sort of that time and era. You know, it was a bit of fun. You could get away with it. Now you have to sort of hide it. You know, it's not as full out there as what it used to be. You know, so yeah, it's probably the first time I came across sort of not much of an asshole, really. That's the long and the short of it. So I think that Steve Plater's a lot to do with that. He sort of calmed me down. He's like, well, it's live and all this. So yeah, it's a good job, and it came out well, and I think we've done a good enough job.
Uche, your prep for the TT couldn't be going much better, could it? Having had the Silverstone you've just had.
Yeah. Well, I mean, coming off the back of some decent results at last year, I've started to enjoy racing and not having to just desperately push all the time and try and get myself back where I was. And I went out to Spain a little bit earlier than the team with the Superstock bike and did some track day work out there before they came out for testing. And I've done 14 days of track days and testing, whatever you call it, out in Spain before the start of the season. So I've done pretty much half a season before we even got to the first round of British Championship, and it's been really good. I love riding the bike. It's been pretty much the same bike since the first day I sat on it, and it's dead enjoyable to ride, really.
Are you fairly confident that that is going to translate, a short circuit good bike is going to translate into something you need over here?
Yeah, obviously a TT is totally different, but it's not a new bike. It's been going around here for quite a number of years now, and it's the difference between riders of like what Michael's been doing on it down to, you know, people down the field. They've all gone better than they've ever gone on any other bike from what I can see. So it obviously works well around here, and it works really well on the short circuit, and it is an easy bike to ride.
Are you guys aware when you're actually going round the TT course just what kind of public, I would say, affection is for you trying that hard and going that quick? I know that we've got a little clip here. Just have a little watch of this, especially you.
That third 6 seconds down. They're through the bungalow. John McGinnis still holding on by the advantage over James Hillier for a team motion to be on the
Well done. Special feeling it must be.
That is the public, spectators watching and appreciating people they like. They've got the favourite riders, but it's for everybody who can go as quick as you. And do you notice as you're going around, are you aware of it?
Yeah.
Anybody?
I never actually noticed that last year. In 2010 I noticed because people were like almost stood in the road flagging me around on that last lap of the fifth win, and it felt really weird, really. But yeah, I never noticed it was so busy last year.
Michael, you've had exactly the same. You've had people jumping in the road wishing you'd on, and
yeah, it's like anything. It's mostly when the senior, you know, you're in your last lap. You know, people stand out, and I've been fortunate enough to witness that and experience it. You know, and it's nice when the people are standing on the hedge waving you on. But you know, it's like everything too. You can still see them, but you know, you've a job to do, and you know. It's funny, the people that do stand out, you know, maybe in the pub later on, I was standing at Windy and I was saying that, you know, then you pick the people out afterwards, you know, you don't really realise at the time who they were, and then, oh, it was me at the Craig, oh, I remember that, or, you know, that's the funny thing about the Isle of Man, it's so long, but what you pick out of the lap is you know, it's unbelievable how much you see in one lap when you're doing 180 or 90 mile an hour, really.
John, last lap of the senior, that's what most of that footage was from. Special? Were you nervous? Or?
Yeah, really special. You know, lap 2 was, I couldn't really see anybody. I was concentrating that hard, and it's one of the sort of laps that I've lost really out of my memory, because maybe I put that much effort into it. I put all 19 years of experience into it, and into the pits, and then when I stopped and, you know, the sort of the grandstand erupted, and it was just such a weird feeling, you know. I just like, whoa, you know.
Yeah, it's quite loud actually. The grandstand was quite loud.
Yeah, I could hear it, and you know, like later, my mechanic says, "You're doing all right, you know, just keep going."
You're doing
I was
all right.
You're doing all right, just keep going, he says. And lap 3, I pushed really hard, but lap 4, I was, you know, fortunate enough to have a decent lead, and what a sweet thing to read on your pit board, plus 19 on the last lap of a senior, and you know, I began to start really enjoying it and really concentrating on making sure I don't make any mistakes, because it's you know, you're not finished until you've crossed the line, as Hutchie proved when he was motocross riding around there, Bedstead. So you know, you've got to keep going right to the end, and but just pretty emotional, really. I never thought, I sort of thinking I'm going to win another one of these. This is mega, you know. I never thought, I sort of didn't really believe I could, but I just wanted to put a good performance on and, you know, do the best I could and give my best shot. And my best shot was on the day was good enough to win. So it was
There's
mega.
a tweet in, and it's for all of you guys, really. What's the possibility? This is from Spanner Monkey in Lincoln, whoever he is. But what's the possibility of a 17-minute lap this year? Well, you're probably going to have to.
It's on. I think I did, somebody clocked me, well, Ballacrane to Ballacrane on my pit board is I did 17 minutes 0.001 apparently, so that's about as close as you're going to get. But, you know, looking at the start line and the top 10 and the guys sat up here now and the other guys have been up here, you're going to have to do that to win, you know. I mean, I think it all depends on the conditions. You know, the senior day there was no wind, there wasn't much sun, the track temperature was perfect, everybody was on fire. You know, the grip was right up. There was no, you know, sometimes there's been a road accident or a farmer's got fed up with the job and dropped some cow shit on the road or something. Or there's just always something. But the track was, as far as being absolutely perfect for the senior, it was absolutely in perfect conditions. You know, so if we get that again, and I'm sure these guys are up for it, and all the rest of the guys have been up here.
I was just going to ask, do you guys have an idea? We've had people up here saying, I'm not going to say how fast I'm going to go, but I know myself what I'd be, you know, capable of. But do you have an idea where you should be with the bike you're on? And I mean, you've ridden your bikes now. You must have a kind of a clue as to what you...
Yeah, it's like everything, you know, you've in your mind, you know how quick you can go, but it doesn't mean on the day it works out, you know. So, yeah, it's... You know, I still think there's a great bit to come yet. You know, I mean, there's always bits going on, and you always push harder, and you know, there's a fine line there, and it's time to reach it. You know, just keep pushing.
Don't you?
It's always a tough thing to talk about times because obviously everything is down to how the track is at the year. You know, and some years it's nowhere near. You know, we might all be lucky to be doing 131 or something this year. You never really know. So it's hard to think about what lap time we're going to do, but I know hopefully there's a bit more time for me to get out the BMW just from stability, because last year the Kawasaki was not the most stable bike I've ever ridden, so, and it didn't like doing jumps, that's for sure, so every time I came to a jump I lost a fair bit of time, but yeah, I don't know, it's always going to keep moving on, and if somebody's doing the speed, then you know the rest of us have to do it, so it pulls us all on, really.
Are you in a lot better place than what you were last year? You had a lot of pressure last year, from yourself, from more than anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's fairly obvious that I'm going to be in a better place than I was last year. I'd come off a terrible year with the Yamaha the year before, and I'd not won a TT for 6 years. I'd hardly ridden around the place, and I had a lot going on last year, so it all kind of worked out quite well there. And running into this year, it's been perfect for me, so it doesn't always work out like that, but you'd rather it work out like that than the way it has been.
Hutchie, for you, this is from Sophie Acton. Will you be racing at Scarborough this year? Apparently she must just live up the road. No, do you know Sophie Acton? She wants to know if you're at Scarborough.
No, I don't think I'll be doing Scarborough. I've just kind of cut back a little bit of some of the races that I'm doing with my leg now. You know, it's I just can't really be risking racing some of the smaller places like that anymore, and too much for me to risk injuring my leg again, really. I'm already taking a risk with all these little 18 and 20-year-olds in Superstock in British Championship, riding like lunatics around me, but I'm enjoying that in the British Championship, so I've hopefully done enough to get a full season out of the British Superstock now. I said to Philip I'd like to do all year, but I'm not going to hold a gun to your head. If I'm absolutely shite at the first 3 rounds, then we'll just pull it after the TT, but I think I've done all right now, so we should be there for the rest of the year, so yeah, we're busy enough anyway.
Michael, how was Silverstone for you? Because actually in some of the sort of damp and dodgy conditions, you were pretty much as quick as anybody. That's quite impressive, actually.
Yeah, I think I'm still going round, if I'm honest with you. I was very far back. Look, we struggled, you know, and we made changes, and obviously in them conditions it made us, you know, I think we were 12th at one point, and we just seemed to struggle again. But we found where the problem is. You know, not only myself. You know, I have to admit, you know, I wasn't up to pace with the British. You know, and first time at Silverstone, it was very, you know, it was just big track and stuff like that. But you know, hopefully we'll come back again. We're doing another. We're going to Oulton now, so hopefully we can, you know, try not to finish last. So.
And you actually look like you're enjoying it. You was a happy camper that weekend.
Yeah, no, you know, the team worked real hard that weekend, and some of the parts hadn't arrived, and we knew we would be pushing against it, but we worked hard enough, you know, just I think for the effort the team had put in, I didn't reward them for it, you know, and you know what it's like at the British, you know, when you're not, I'm not used to short circuits, I don't do it, I'm a road racer, and I think it's maybe easier if you start off on short circuits, then go to roads more than going to roads to short circuits, you know, because you know yourself, Jimmy, for riding, you got to be on the limit all the time, you know, and it's just the way it is, you know, but hopefully, you know, come through the year we're to do 7 or 8 rounds, so hopefully we can sort of mid-pack it between the middle of the year.
Yeah, I think it'll pay dividends, I'm sure.
Michael, Laura wants to know, what's Michael got in his rucksack? There you go.
You got mine.
I've got John McGuinness's wages, so no.
You need a wheelbarrow for that one.
I've got your monster money, don't worry about it, John, it's all right.
Family show.
No, it's well, Paul Phillips, you know, he worked hard at this job and he really missed Guy, so I thought I would just make him feel a wee bit more comfortable. So.
Okay, all right. There you go. That's a lovely answer. Wonderful. Final question, John. Didn't run quite to plan last weekend. You got wet and cold, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Yeah, Le Mans was tough, yeah, but that's challenging. That's what it's all about. Endurance racing. It was never going to be easy to do 24 hours on a bike, but you know, it wasn't nobody's fault. Well, it was Connor's fault. He broke it, I think. He busted. he brought it in pissing oil out. So, but no, it wasn't Connor's fault. It was. Yeah, we're just battling our way around, doing okay. You know, it was good preparation. We've had some great preparation even before Le Mans. We went to Monte Blanco for 4 days, and day 1 was great. Day 2, Jenny Tinmouth was on a period, I think, so I got a shot on her bike. Didn't sniff the seat or anything, obviously. But I got a shot on Jenny's bike, I got a shot on the World Endurance bikes, I got a shot on the TT bike, got a shot on all the bikes. So yeah, plenty of mileage, and you know. But Le Mans we were looking good for a while. It was, you know, but after 17 hours, which is soul destroying, the bike finally gave up, and went into the campsite and I'd look at some of the crazy lunatics burning things and wrecking things, and a few pints, and yeah, straight back home, straight here. I go to Skegness Saturday, Sunday to do something for MCN for a few quid, and then I go to Japan on Sunday to test the electric scooter. So I'm looking forward to that. They've asked me to lose 10 kilos. There's more chance of having a shit in the Queen's handbag at the moment than losing that. I'm about 9 kilos away from the target, so it's a nightmare.
She's just tweeted in. We're listening, actually, the Queen, is it?
It was good, and the weighing was good. The little Japanese fella's like, whoa! I take a shot. It's about 90 odd kilos I was. I had about £30 coins in my pockets, two breakfasts down me. But it's not. It's going to be embarrassing when I get to Japan. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But we'll see. White leathers don't help as well. They make you look even fatter.
How about it? Ladies and gentlemen, possibly the 3 fastest riders at the TT, undoubtedly winners this year. Thank you very much indeed. Michael Dunlop, brilliant. Thank you for taking our microphone apart, and we'll find out what's in your rucksack. John McGuinness, you're a superstar. I did, you kept it clean. Well done. Thank you very much indeed to Ian Hutchinson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we have to leave on a rather sad note because a good friend, a colleague, and a man that has worked at the TT for many, many years, Mark Sears, who was Dunlop's marketing manager. He lost his life yesterday in an accident, and our thoughts and wishes and every condolences really are with his friends and family. So sadly, we lost Mark Sears, who was an integral part of the Isle of Man TT races. So it's sad that we have to end on that note, but I would just like to say thank you very, very much indeed for joining us tonight. Thank you all that tweeted in. Thank you, James Whittam, and thank you to all the riders, and good luck to all on for 2016. Thank you very much indeed.